This is high school football on iTalk 106.7, presented by Sholo Ford. Produced by White Mountain Youth Productions in cooperation with iTalk 106.7 Radio. High school football is also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Sunrise Park Resort, Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, Beamer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Summit Regional Medical Center, Octopus Car Wash, Native Grill and Wings, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school football. And worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Good evening and welcome to St. John's High School, home of the Redskins. A great shot for those of you online. You can see the Morenci Wildcats warming up. We've got a great evening of football. I'm Bill London, joined by Punt Cooley, and tonight punt the St. John's Redskins at home against the Morenci Wildcats. Should be a good evening.
Should be. You know, both of these teams every year near the top of their respective regions in terms of record and just overall, you know, good coaching staffs on both sides. Morenci, despite having a minor bus breakdown on the way, they finally made it, and we're ready to roll here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, not often you have a game delay, but it was because the head coach, I believe, for the Morenci Wildcats was trailing in a separate vehicle, waiting for him to show up, giving him a chance. But so regardless, we are looking for a good night. We also have got to bring you the Summit Healthcare Injury Report with a fully staffed emergency department and advanced diagnostics department and outstanding orthopedic and physical therapy teams. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. And we're going to go down to the sidelines. Ron Everingham, you've got a great view from the sidelines. Can you fill us in on the injury report?
Thanks, Bill. Well, the first injury report that I have is that Bill London is actually healthy tonight. His vocal cords are feeling good, and his knees.
That's funny, but
medically healthy, but I'm not sure about the head part.
Yeah, so thanks,
right.
Bill. We're glad you're back 100% tonight. We're looking forward to an amazing game from you. But anyhow, on the field, just a little bit of a report from the St. John's Redskins. Tonight, wide receiver John Robertson is out. He's a senior. We also have Robert Villeos, who, if you remember, was injured during the Blue Ridge game with that dislocated kneecap. He was a lineman. He's still out. He's going to be actually seeing a specialist this week, so he's out for the foreseeable future. But back is number 22, Kyrene Ulibarri. And if you remember the story on him, he was out working, farming some fields, and decided to drive home by himself and was dehydrated and went off the road and got into an accident, a single-car accident. But he's back. He only was out for a couple weeks with a concussion. And last game against San Carlos, he actually had a touchdown pass. That was his first game back. So looking for big things from him tonight.
Well, we appreciate it. Thanks for the heads up. We're going to step away. When we return, we've also got the keys to the game. Punt Cooley, you're going to be filling us in on what we can look for from both sides for tonight's ball game. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
All right, you're clear. How long do you want?
Minute, 60 seconds.
I got this.
Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to St. John's High School again as the Redskins. We're going to be watching the Redskins as they face off against, welcome in the Morenci Wildcats. St. John's Redskins, we talk about records, Punt. You want to talk about the St. John's Redskins, their record coming in tonight, as well as what you would expect?
Well, both teams coming into tonight's football game with a 3 record, and they're getting ready to do the coin toss, so we'll turn it down to our mic at midfield to listen to what they have to say.
Have fun tonight, guys. Work hard, play hard. As long as you guys hit each other clean, I don't care how hard you hit each other. Just make it clean and legal, okay? Sportsmanship, number 1 thing, okay? I don't care if you don't help the other team up or not, but we're not going to have any trash talking or any unsportsmanlike conduct, okay, fellas? I'm going to ask you guys to help us before any line, okay? A little bit up the mountain.
Tails.
Tails it is called. It's tails. Coach says he wants to defer, correct?
Yes, sir.
So take the ball, right, bud?
You want to kick?
Are you sure? No, you don't. You want the ball.
Second half.
Okay. They defer. You want the ball to start the first half.
What? Yes. Yeah.
That's what Mike said. So
Okay.
we'll go with what Mike told me earlier.
All right.
So which goal do you? Coach wants you to defend the clock. So let's put your back to the clock over here for it.
Well, there you hear it. Looks like it's going to be a deferred kick, or the Morenci Wildcats are going to defer. Almost an error on the St. John's Redskins' part, as they wanted to kick, and correctly, Coach Morgan had talked to the officials ahead of time, explaining no, they would take the ball on the deferred call. But punt, when we talk about it, Greg Chavez, the official out there, helping these guys work through it. Obviously, some seniors not used to being out there. Maybe Ace Hardware has a 24/7 locksmith. Next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware, your helpful place. 3 locations, Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo, bringing you the keys to the game. Punt, Cooley, what are the keys to the game?
Well, for the visiting Morenci Wildcats, they rely heavily on the run game, and they have a run in Mark Roybal, number 5. Their leading rusher coming in tonight's game is number 8, Stephen, averaging near 180 yards a game carrying the ball. So he's definitely going to be the key for Morenci. And, of course, for him to be able to run effectively, they're going to have to play pretty well against a big defensive front for St. John's. They're going to go to the national anthem here, so we'll listen into that.
The difference is St. John's High School, some loud fireworks going off tonight. And again, every time there's a St. John's score, you can expect to hear it, a resounding sound for miles away. So that is going to be the Ace Hardware keys to the game. Ace Hardware has a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware, your helpful place. 3 locations, Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. Absolutely beautiful night Punt coolie on color. Also, we've got Ron Everingham down on the sidelines. And with the effects mic, we have Dylan Smith. Want to shout out to him. Great crew. If you're looking online, be sure to catch it online. That's iTalk1067.com. Left to right, the St. John's Redskins will be receiving and will be going from left to right. Morenci will be kicking off right to left. And punt. Field looks like it's in good shape. We've seen this field where it's been beat up tonight in great shape.
Yeah, it looks in awesome shape. You know, and St. John's, again, we mentioned their record coming into tonight's football, 3-1. Their only loss, second game of the season, to Blue Ridge in Blue Ridge.
Actually, they were up early. Short kick. It's going to be taken by Ramsey to 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Still on his feet. He's finally brought down just shy of the 45-yard line. Looks like he's going to be about to the 43.
So they're going to end up marking it right at the 40.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
But a good wedge by St. John's. As you say, Ramsey going right up the middle behind a wedge formed by those front guys out front. So St. John's starting tonight's football game in really good field position with their first drive at their own 40.
Coach Morgan, obviously back for a couple years now at St. John's High School, went on sabbatical for a while, but obviously bringing the winning tradition. Single back under center is going to be just a quick blast up the inside, and he's going to be dropped about at the 45-yard line.
Taylor Hammond, the running back, number 7, getting about a 4-yard gain on that play, as you say, going right up the gut. Both of these lines, St. John's, of course, has a really good-sized front. Morenci teaching them, maybe not so much in height, but they've got some good-sized kids down in the trenches on that defensive line.
Sanchez out of the shotgun. Looked like Ulibarri must have jumped here on the near side. And again, as you talked about earlier,
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5 yards, second down.
Kyron Ulibarri hasn't been here or coming back into play action. It's good to see him on the field, maybe a little anxious.
Well, and it adds a whole new dimension as well to the St. John's offense, having him with passing attack.
2 receivers each side.
Yeah, they jumped again. You could hear the whistles blow.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5 yards, still second down.
So again, not a great start for the St. John's Redskins. Again, 2 5-yard penalties now, looking at a second and, well, it looks like it's going to be second and 15. Negating that 5-yard gain plus losing another 5. So it'll be second down, 15 to go. Just starting here in the first quarter, St. John's Redskins with the ball. Out of the shotgun, it's going to be Sanchez. He's looking right, throwing right, out into the flat. It's caught by Ramsey, gets around the corner, gets the ball out to about the 45 where he's brought down.
Well, a smart call there by Coach Morgan. He takes Ulibarri deep across the middle, taking the corner and safety with him, and then runs that under route. And as a result, the outside linebacker for Morenci's the one responsible for the coverage and has to chase him down on the sideline, but not after a good gain. So it'll leave St. John's, despite those couple of quick penalties, they're going to be left with 3rd and 5 here at the 45.
3rd and 5 out of the shotgun. It's going to be Sanchez. He's got a single back offset behind him. He's looking left this time, looks center of the field, throws deep down the middle of the field. Ethan Jessup catches it inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line where he's brought down. Great gain for the Redskins.
Perfect pass there to fight going down the middle. Braden McCarthy on the tackle, and that's a quarterback covering that wide out, but he was following behind the receiver the whole way, but a very well placed touch on. So a great play there by St. John's, putting them in scoring position here in the red zone early in the game.
For the 1st and 10 now from the 16, Sanchez out of the shotgun. He's got a single back. He's going to hand off to Ramsey around the right side. Jumps outside along the sideline. Gets the ball inside the 5, where he's finally brought down just inside the 5. Looks like about the 4.5-yard line.
Isaac Pacheco, number 2, coming over to help push him out. I think along with Tito Casillas. Looked like he was out there as well, but not after a great gain by Ramsey. Just doing a great job of following his blocks at the line of scrimmage, but then keeping those feet moving on the sideline.
Again, Sanchez out of the shotgun. He's got a single back. Ramsey offset to the right. And he's going to hand off to Ramsey. Bill cuts around the left side. Stiff arm. Flag comes in. He gets just beyond the line of scrimmage. Maybe a couple yards before he's brought down, but a flag coming from the outside, Punt.
Yeah, a flag thrown by the line judge on that side where the run was going. So that would suggest that he might get a penalty here against St. John's. Here's the call.
Holding on the offense.
What?
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
So just like that, St. John's Redskins really having a great first drive. We saw a couple penalties to start it. This one, again, maybe one they wish they could take back, but the St. John's Redskins deep into Morenci territory, still inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line, just shy of the 15. 10 minutes, just inside the 10-minute mark here in the first quarter. I formation for the St. John's Redskins. Sanchez under center. He's going to fake the handoff, rolls right, looking right, throws right deep in the end zone, and he's going to connect with Nielsen for a score.
That's a good pass there again, just finding his receiver. Again, not a really hard thrown ball, just nice touch, but leads him enough to where he's able to beat that defender into the corner of the end zone. Just great passing by the quarterback, Raymond Sanchez.
Well, this offense really getting off early. We saw it now in the air, probably doing more than on the ground. On the point after attempt, Sanchez holding. The kick goes up, and it
looked like it might have been blocked.
Ulibarri on the PAT. It's going to be no good, just shy. This is Sholo Ford's station of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of Smile.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more.
The 15, taken at the 15, out to the 20. 25, 30, it's Chris Deck right at the inside, still on his feet. Inside the 40, 45, the 40, 35, 30, 25 before he's brought down about the 23-yard line. Great return and answer by the Morenci Wildcats.
That's a great kick return. Looked like he might be able to go all the way. That's Chris Deck, number 7, on the return. Jared Fielder, number 15, the kicker for St. John, is the one that ends up having to bring him down, but not after a huge kick return, which will leave Morenci on their first offensive drive starting at the 20, looks like the 22 of St. John's.
Well, Morenci, black pants, black helmet, white jerseys, tight formation, double wing, single back, under center is rival. He's going to hand off to the back. He's around the right side, brought down. Chavario is brought down after about 8 yards. Chavaria.
Steven Chavaria, as we noted at the top of the game, he's their leading rusher, Morenci's leading rusher coming to tonight's football game. So their first play from scrimmage, they get 9 yards with that run.
So with that, again, inside the 15, and what'd you say about the 13-yard line? Again, going with that tight set. They've got double wings, a single back motion that time. This time they hand off to the dive back. Little blast to the inside, not getting anywhere. Good push back by that inside defensive line, but still it's going to be close to a first down.
Diego Hernandez as well as TJ Heap, number 62, in on the tackle. Just good job. Just being tough up front defensively, fill in those gaps. But, Morenci only needing that yard to get the first down, which they do get with that short run by Harrington.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Morenci Wildcats. They're going to be out the 12-yard line. Double wing set. One back, and there's motion again. It's Chavaria. It's going to be a handoff to the went off to the left side punt, and Pacheco's going to get out to about maybe a couple yards, but there's a St. John's Redskins still down on the field.
Well, that's Joseph Ramsey who made the tackle on Pacheco. Pacheco showing some good speed, good burst of speed to try to get outside, but Ramsey tracks him down. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it was him rolling with Pacheco.
Well, it's a good sign. Ramsey's up walking.
He's got a little bit of a limp, but he's able to, more importantly, able to walk himself off the field.
So let's see where the mark is.
Basically, they're going to say
12. It didn't gain much, right?
No gain on that carry.
It'll be 2nd and 10 now for the Morenci Wildcats deep in St. John's territory at the St. John's 12. Again, coming out. This time they've got an I formation under center. Rival's going to hand off to the dive back. Harrington
up the middle
who
again.
Keeps his feet going, a spin move. Gets the ball inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line.
Yeah, Pacer Wiltbank there to make contact. He's one of the defensive linemen for St. John's, makes contact with Harrington, but as you mentioned, Bill, Harrington just doing a good job keeping his feet moving, even puts a little spin move in there to gain at least a couple, maybe 3 yards after the contact.
Looks like it's going to be about 3rd and 3 for the Wildcats. St. John's Redskins inside the Wildcats inside the Redskin 5 at about the 4-yard line. So they can still get a first down even if they don't score. Coming quick to the line, it's an I formation. It's going to be a pitch around the right side. And great job by the Redskins, drop for losses. Chavaria.
That's Diego Hernandez for St. John's with the tackle, but I got to tell you, he got some support from the outside linebacker, being able to set that edge and force the runner back inside for Hernandez to gather him up. So just good team defense there by the Redskins.
Kind of a
timeout, Morenci, 1st of the half.
There's a timeout on the field. We're going to take a timeout as well. 6:40 left here in the first quarter. Our score is 6-0, but the Morenci Wildcats are knocking on the door. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Morenci Wildcats out of the I formation. The second back is going to bounce out and around the corner. It's Chavaria on the score for the Morenci Wildcats.
Well, it looked like St. John's was doing a great job of sealing off inside, but credit Chavaria, he's reading the inside and just keeps bouncing and bouncing, and then finally to beat everyone outside with his good speed. So that quickly, with their first possession, Morenci answering on their first offensive possessions to tie the game up. Now we'll see if with this point after, if they can go ahead in the football game.
Well, it looks like Morenci waiting for a player to get on the field, set up now for the PAT. Kicking, it looks like it's number 20, Chris Roba. And it's blocked by the St. John's Redskins, and our score now is going to be tied 6-6. We're going to step away. 6-6, 6:34 left here in the first quarter. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
How many yards on that run?
All right, you're clear. How long do you want?
30 seconds. Caldwell, can you help by getting, looks like we're still online with the TV coverage. Great shot of the sidelines for the St. John's Redskins.
15 seconds.
Like, give us the kicker, return guys. Anything you can give us helps. I can't see. Say it again, what?
All right, 5 seconds. Here's your audio, guys.
Welcome back to high school action. 6:34, tied 6-6. Morenci Wildcats, Roybal to kick. The kick is short, little pooch kick. It's going to be taken around 35. Nielsen immediately brought down by a couple of Morenci Wildcats, including Pacheco as the ball. It looks like he's dropped around the 35-yard line.
Well, Nielsen does catch that kick, that pooch kick, and has to run backwards to try to find some space. But credit Isaac Pacheco, number 2 for Morenci, just draws a line right to Nielsen and drops him actually for a loss after he catches that kick. But regardless, St. John's will have their second possession here, start at the 35, their own 35. Or I'm sorry, the 30.
It looks like it's going to be Casillas out of the shotgun. It's going to hand off around the right side on the option. Ramsey on the cutback. He fumbles, actually. Picked up by Pacheco of the Wildcats, and we'll see what the call is.
They're going to call it a fumble. Tito Casillas on the recovery for Morenci. As you say, right at the hit, there was a question on the sideline from Coach Morgan, and he's still talking to the referees about whether the ground caused that fumble or not, but they're going to say it was a fumble.
Punched out again.
So a big turnover there.
6:21, tied 6-6. A lot of action here. Both first series drives for both teams, putting points on the board. The PAT is no good. And now the Morenci Wildcats again with short field position. 41-yard line, single back set, under center. It's the quarterback keeper. It's going to bounce around the left side. Dropped at about the 40-yard line.
That's the quarterback, number 5, Roybal, keeping on that carry, his first carry, I think, of the game. And Mark Baejos, number 34 for St. John's, in on the tackle after just a very short gain.
So with that, it is second.
And about 9, it looks like.
It's like 9 yards for the Morenci Wildcats. Roybal under center predominantly. It's a 1-by-2 set, single back in the backfield. It's going to fake the handoff. Roybal rolling right. He's going to turn it upfield, makes a cut back inside, gets the ball just inside the 35 before he's brought down.
And the person bringing him down, it's hard to see through these windows. It's 52. Is it 52 or 62? 62. TJ Heap on the tackle. But as you say, Bill, good read by Roybal. Rolling out, he finds a lot of room out there and makes a good cut to leave it with just about 3rd and 2, maybe 3rd and 3 here.
You called upon 3rd and 3 for the Wildcats inside St. John's territory, about the 33-yard line. Under center is Roybal. He's got a double back set, I formation in the back. And he's going to hand off to the dive back, fullback. St. John's right there at the line of scrimmage, drops him for no gain.
Harrington again on the carry, a big fullback. And John Holden, number 52, the nose tackle, or maybe one of the defensive tackles for St. John's, doing a good job of wrapping up Harrington and limiting the gain if they gained anything. So it's going to be about 4th and 3 here for Morenci. They will go for it, being on the St. John's side of the field.
Out of the I set, Roybal under center. He's going to fake the handoff, rolls right, looking right, pressure. He's going to try to turn upfield, but met and dropped for a loss. Great defensive pressure by that front.
They all did a good job. It took a team effort from that front line. Diego Hernandez ultimately bringing down Roybal for the sack, but you got to credit the entire defensive front, as you say, Bill, for putting pressure on him right away.
So now on downs, the St. John's Redskins taking over at about the 37-yard line. A lot of action here early. 4:09 here in the first quarter. Our score 6-6, tied St. John's Redskins. Coming under center, it is Sanchez. Sanchez with the option. He's going to the right side. Turns it upfield on the keeper. Gets out beyond the 45 to about the 43 where he's brought down.
That's a good read by Sanchez to keep on that. You know, they had the linebacker in the corner outside setting that edge, but ultimately Mark Roybal coming up from a safety position to make the tackle on Sanchez, but now after he gains about 6 yards on that carry.
St. John's Redskins now from their 43-yard line. Double slots on both sides. Sanchez pitches around the right side to Ramsey. Turns upfield inside or beyond the 45 to about the 47. Brought down by Pacheco.
That's just a good pitch and run to the outside. You can see St. John's with their running game attacking for the most part outside of the tackles so far with just only a few exceptions. That time Ramsey able to get just past the first down marker to get the first down for St. John's.
That will be a Mountain Mobile first count. That's the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. Sanchez under center, single back, double slots. He's going to hand off to the dive back. Quick blast up the inside for a gain of about 4 yards.
Taylor Hammond on the carry again. He's just following those big linemen out front of him. And they get about 3 yards on that gain. Pacheco coming in to make the tackle for Morenci.
Play shuttled in by Kyron Uleberry. St. John's Redskins now come to the line. I formation, Sanchez under center. Sanchez fakes the handoff to the fullback, tries to pitch. Good bounce, though. Ramsey gets it on the bounce, turns it upfield and gets about 6 yards, 5 yards.
Tito Casillas, number 9, on the tackle. But I got to tell you, St. John's a little fortunate on that really lucky bounce on that fumble. It bounces right literally into the hands of Joseph Ramsey off the turf. But Ramsey not hesitating at all. He goes right to the sideline to get actually a decent gain. So it'll leave St. John's with about 3rd and 2 here. And they're at the 44-yard line of Morenci.
Sanchez under center. He's got 2 in the backfield. Going to hand off to the second back. It's a power play right up the inside the 40 to about the 39. Hammond on the game.
And again, Hammond just following that big front. You got the center along with the 2 guards just zone blocking right up the middle. And Pacheco end up coming over again to make that tackle, but not after the big gain to get the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down for St. John's.
Chains are moving, and again, it's St. John's Redskins inside Morenci territory at the Morenci 39-yard line. Sanchez under center, single back, double wing formation, fakes the handoff. It's going to go a dive to Ramsey, right up the inside, quick dive. He's all the way to the 20-yard line of the Wildcats before he's brought down.
Yeah, two players for Morenci in on the tackle. Looks like they're going to call a face mask. The 2 were number 12, Robert Morey.
Red captain, 5-yard face mask on the defense.
Yeah, they're going to call face mask. One of the 2 that for Morenci that made that tackle inadvertently grabbing
face mask
Ramsey's
on
face
the defense.
mask.
5 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
Great run by Ramsey. Again, we saw him dinged earlier in the game, but back out in the field, and just a great little run by Ramsey inside. Chains again are moving. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. St. John's Redskins 1st and 10 from about the 16-yard line. Sanchez under center's got a single back. He's going to pitch it. It's going to go around the right side, turning upfield to Hammond. Takes a big dive at the end, picks up 2 more yards, all the way into about the 7 or 8 yard line.
And I got to tell you, with that quick pitch, John Holden, number 52, on the pull for St. John's, getting out there quickly and doing a great job of opening up a nice hole for Ramsey. Ulibarri as well out there doing a good job of laying down some critical blocks.
I formation, Sanchez under center, hands off to the second back. It's Ramsey. Lots of blocks in front. He's going to get the ball inside the 5, right down to the goal line. If he's not in, it's about the 1 yard line.
I'm surprised. I'm not sure where they're going to mark it, but it's going to be. It's very close.
Just shy. You know, great blocking out in front of Ramsey. He was the second back out of that I set. Nice little power play for the Redskins. Again, another great drive for them. 1:10 left here in the first quarter. Clock ticking. Our score tied at 6s. But St. John's Redskins half a yard away from scoring. Again, it's a 3-back set now. It's an offset wishbone. It's an offset I. Under center, Sanchez hands off to the third back, Hammond. He's going to go to the left. He's going to get into the end zone for that St. John's Redskins score.
And again, that's just good line surge. Of course, he has 2 backs in front of him, does Hammond, but you know, that all starts at the line of scrimmage. You got to credit that St. John's front for just having good surge right at the goal line to get the touchdown.
Well, 50 seconds left here in the first quarter on that score. Our score now 12-6, down for the PAT attempt, point after attempt. Ramsey, it looks like, will be, actually they're going for 2. Sanchez under center, Ramsey the single back. It's a pitch to Ramsey around the right side. Cuts back in, and the Morenci defense not folding the leash right there. Looks like they stopped him just shy of the end zone. And they are. It's going to turn them away. Our score now 12-6 here in the first quarter. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
This is high school football on iTalk.
Welcome back to St. John's High School. Our score 12-6, St. John's Redskins with their second score. 50 seconds left here in the first quarter, and punt, a lot of action. We've seen some great plays early on.
Yeah, we have. You know, we knew they would be two running football teams, and they've come up with that so far. Another good kick return here by Morenci.
Morenci running, brought down inside the, looks like the 40 at about the 36-yard line. On the return, it was bowling, it looked like, for the Wildcats.
No, that's Tanner Hudman, number 23. Again, that was a short pooch kick by Fielder. But 23 doing a good job of getting outside and beating the coverage outside. But
you know, I think we heard talk about that. The return for Morenci, the return man, really a threat to the St. John's Redskins. These pooch kids not doing much better though, as Morenci's had really short fields, great returns on both of them.
Right.
So with that, 1st and 10 now for the Morenci Wildcats at about the 36-yard line. I formation under center. It's Roybal. Roybal hands off to the second back through Chavaria. Chavaria gets about 2 yards before he's brought down.
And that's one of the linebackers, it looks like, number 54, Pacer Weltbank. 64. Pacer Weltbank coming up to make that tackle on Chavaria.
With that Chavaria gain, it's going to be just inside the 34-yard or 35-yard line. Looks like maybe the 34-yard line of the Redskins. 2nd and about 8 now for the Wildcats. Roybal, the quarterback for the Wildcats, not happy. They've got 3. That is going to be the end of the first quarter. Our score 12-6. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
Need hats, shirts, or jackets embroidered with your logo? Get custom embroidered products from Little Bluebird Studios. That's right, the company that does the best job screen printing t-shirts and hoodies now offers embroidery. Little Bluebird Studios is a local company with skilled designers that care about your company's image and brand. Call Little Bluebird Studios today, 928-351-7942, or online at littlebluebird.org. Little Bluebird Studios, the company that cares.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Wildcats with the ball. It's going to be a pitch around the right side. Chavaria with a little shoulder fake outside, cuts inside, gets the ball inside the 25 to about the 24, brought down by Heap.
Pacer Wiltbank as well, or I'm sorry, TJ Heap on the tackle. He's going to get up. Pacer Wiltbank, actually number 64, getting up with favoring that elbow, left elbow. But hey, that was a great cut by Chavaria, reading his blocks, makes a move to the outside to pull that defender out, and then cuts back inside quickly to get a nice gain.
Chavaria, not a big guy, 5'8", 155 pounds, but obviously a powerful runner and a favorite for the Morenci Wildcats. He's their leading ground gamer. Little pitch to the second back through, and that's going to be just a quick blast around the left side all the way into the 15-yard line.
Chris Deck, that's the runner that we saw earlier with that great kick return. He gets the pitch on that play and makes a great cut on that left side. Another big gain, 2 successive runs with 2 big gains for the Morenci Wildcats here, taking them all the way down to the St. John's 15-yard line.
Morenci Wildcats on the drive now, 10:55 here in the second quarter, 12-6 our score, but Morenci threatening at about the 15-yard line. I formation under center, it's Roybal. Hands off to the second back, Deck off the left side. He's going to get the ball inside the 15, 13. Looks like he's brought down about the 11-yard line, 12-yard line.
Again, Morenci going to that left side, following that big tackle out on that side. But Diego Hernandez, and I believe that was TJ Heap as well for St. John's on the tackle on that side.
Morenci Wildcats with a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. 1st and 10 now, just outside the 10-yard line of the Redskins. It's going to be Roybal coming under center. He's got a single back. 2 receivers to the left side. Hands off on the blast. But 3 Redskins there to meet him at the line of scrimmage. Drop him for a loss. Or no gain.
You got, again, Hernandez, John Holden, and I'm not sure who else sitting on the tackle. But just really no room for Pacheco to run into on that play. Just a great job by that defensive front, just clogging things up in the middle of the field there.
Morenci opening up their offense a little bit. It looks like it's going to be back to the double wing set. Dropping back as Roybal throws left. Deck gets it out in the flat, but two Redskins there to meet him. Drops him for a loss. Drops him after a gain of about 3 yards, 4 yards.
Again, TJ Heap, we've called his number a lot tonight. He's again out there from that linebacker position along with one of their DBs. Not sure who that was out there, but good job defensively limiting the game.
So it's going to be 3rd and 7 now for the Morenci Wildcats. Inside the 10-yard line of the St. John's Redskins, 3rd and 7. Roybal comes to the line. He's got 2 backs behind him. Deck offset to the left, double wing now. Deck in motion, a pitch to Deck. Around the right side, gets around, cuts back inside, but inside the 5. He gets stopped about the 4-yard line, brought down by Jessup.
That's a good hit by Jessup on Deck. Chris Deck, the running back, just really running hard up the field. running side to side for a bit to draw out that defense and then making the quick cut straight up. But you got to credit Ethan Jessup for coming in and shutting him down from the outside before he gets across the goal line. So Morenci here, 4th down and 1 at the St. John's 4 or 3, I can't tell.
3-yard line. Single back set, quarterback keeper inside, and it's going to be close. We'll see if he gets across the goal line.
That's a good call by Morenci. Just a quick snap count by Roybal under center, and just good line surge by Morenci. I think they caught the defense for St. John's off guard a little bit with that quick snap.
Doesn't look like he got into the end zone, but he did get a first down. He got the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. It's going to be 1st and goal now from the 1. 8:04 left here, 12-6 our score, but Morenci knocking on the door. Roybal has got a single back, trips to the left. And again, it's Roybal with that dive. Just a keeper inside.
Man, that looked like good line surge, but they're going to say he didn't make it. So whenever they can't make it into the end zone on a quarterback sneak like that, you got to credit that front line. So the entire front lines for St. John's just doing a great job of sealing off gaps.
Looks like they're bringing in more size. Big guy coming in now for the Morenci Wildcats. Again, just inches away from the goal line. Morenci now looking at a 2nd down and goal, 2nd and goal. Tight set, and they're bringing motion, and there's a flag on the play.
Tackle jump for Morenci on that left side.
Dead
number
ball,
78.
false start on the offense. 5 yards, replay the down.
That's Bo Wagner, number 78, jumped with the motion man. So it'll move him back now to the just past the 5-yard line. That penalty right there hurts.
Big time. That'll drive a coach crazy. You can bet. The coach for the Morenci Wildcats, that's Coach Gallegos, not happy as the Morenci Wildcats now just outside the 5-yard line. 2nd down and just over 5 yards into the end zone. Trips to the left, or an I formation slot to the left. And it looks like it's going to be an option, a quick pitch. A Chavaria, but he's going to be
and he fumbled, it
tackled
like.
and fumbled. And there's a flag as well, so we'll see what happens here. Chavaria, we saw him as the leading ground gainer for the
Need a red captain blocking the back on the offense.
Well, you could hear the referee, Greg Chavez, blocking the back, so it's going to take Morenci back even further. And there was a fumble on that play, but the ball goes out of bounds. So Morenci with
number 18. Blocking the back on the offense, 10 yards from the spot, replay, 2nd down.
So a great offensive drives for the Morenci Wildcats negated now by, 3 penalties? Couple penalties back to back.
2 penalties. The one they had the offsides, full start, and then that block in the back. So now it takes where they had the ball within the 1-foot line. Now they're all the way back to the 17, 16.
There's another flag on the play. We'll see.
Too many in the huddle. Another flag from the referee.
Illegal substitution on the offense. 5 yards, replay 2nd down.
So it's still 2nd down, but Morenci is moving back quickly.
Ball now outside the 20 to about the 21-yard line. Maybe the 22 punt, but again, not a good series right now. Started off great, but going the wrong direction. St. John's Redskins defense, a little room to breathe now. You got to credit really that inside surge, so it kept him from the goal line or getting into the end zone. And now these penalties bringing them back. Tight set, double wing. There's motion, and it's going to be on a counter. Reverse Pacheco
counter
around the left side and speed, fooling everybody. He goes 21 yards into the end zone, just like that. Morenci Wildcats score.
Well, that's a counter play. They get the defensive motion going right, and then they cut back quickly. And for those of you online can see Pacheco, number 2, just really being quick up the middle of the field, outrunning defenders all the way to the end zone. Really the only person grabbing him was at about the 2-yard line. But great play calling there by Morenci.
Well, here we are set up for the PAT. Roybal is And it's going to be a fake kick, throws to the left side, but St. John's Redskins not fooled, and they drop him again. So our score still tied at 6. It's 6:39 left here in the second quarter. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
All right, you're clear for 30.
Bill.
Welcome back to St. John's High School. Our score tied at 12, 6:39 left here in the second quarter. Again, both offenses able to score. Defenses maybe struggling a little bit. On the kickoff, the Morenci Wildcats. A little short kick, going to be taken about the inside the 30. And it looks like it's going to be called right there where the catch was made. Looks like he made a fair catch.
It's number 2 for St. John's. We don't have him on the roster. They're going to say he called fair catch.
Receiver called for a fair catch. First down, St. John's.
So it'll be St. John's Redskins 1st and 10 from the 28, lining up on the right hash mark. St. John's Redskins going right to left. (12-12). Actually, a really nice evening. You know, we thought it was going to be a little bit windy, but settling down. It's going to be Sanchez under center, wishbone backfield, hands off to the third back, Ramsey.
Nice cut.
Instead of falling his back, cuts around the left side, gets around the corner, 40. Big stiff arm, gets the ball all the way down to the 35, fighting all the way.
Well, that's Brandon McCarty and Roybal, number 5 for Morenci on the tackle. But, hey, that's a great cut by Ramsey. He sees it plugged up inside and just bounces out to the outside, beating any containment. Well, there really was no containment out there. But great running. And you can see here, for those of you watching on the replay, good stiff arm to just gain another couple extra yards.
That gain really all instinct because he had the lead going the other way, cuts it back. Now it is Sanchez under center, single back set. He's going to hand off to the dive back, number 7. It's Hammond, who's going to be met and dropped, maybe at the line of scrimmage.
Matthew Garcia, number 54, one of the defensive, either the nose guard or one of the defensive tackles, just doing a good job of cutting through the line of the blockers for St. John's to get on the runner as soon as he gets the ball.
2nd and 10 now for the St. John's Redskins at about the just shy of the 45-yard line. St. John's Redskins come to the line. It will be Sanchez out of the shotgun. He's got a single back behind him. Looks like it's Ramsey. Looks left, throws left.
Oh.
The intended receiver was Fielder. Hits him in the hands, but he can't hang on to it. 3rd down now and 10 for the Redskins.
Yeah, you can't fault the pass there. That was right into the hands of Fielder, as you say, Bill, but good defensive coverage as well. So St. John's on their 45 with about a 3rd and 10. Well, 3rd and 10.
St. John's Redskins at the line now. They've got trips to the left side. One receiver wide to the right. Sanchez out of the shotgun. Ramsey beside him. Sanchez drops back. Looks left.
Man.
Big hit, but throws it deep. And it hits Pacheco. A little bit underthrown. Pacheco goes to the ground. Cannot hang on to the ball. It bounces out.
Man, I tell you, Sanchez, and you could see it coming, took a big hit from Pacheco, from Morenci. It's a clean hit. You'll see on the replay here, Pacheco blitzing and hit just a square hit on the quarterback as soon as he releases that football. Unfortunately for St. John's, Joseph Ramsey surprisingly not able to pull that in. So it'll leave St. John's with 4th and 10 here. They'll go into punt formation. Ramsey back to punt.
Ramsey with the punt. It's a high punt. Looks like it's going left, and it's going to go out of bounds. We'll see where they mark it. It's going to be a shorter punt. It's going to go about the 33-yard line, where the Morenci Wildcats will take over on their own 33 punt. You know, we knew this was going to be a good game, but you got to be impressed by this both offenses at times. When they light it up, they really get after it.
Yep, they do. You know, we talked at the top of the game that both are run-oriented, and they certainly have done that pretty consistently, especially on the Morenci side. But St. John's, they've got a couple of pass plays that have really made the difference for them offensively tonight. I'll be curious to see if they keep trying to chip away with those big passes.
Tight set, double wing set with motion now, single back. Roybal on the pitch to the Rashawn Marie around the left side, but he's met at the line of scrimmage. TJ Heap on the tackle does a nice job bringing him down.
Tito Casillas was the runner on that play for Morenci. And Hernandez and company in on the tackle.
So with that, it'll be 2nd and 8 now for the Morenci Wildcats at their own 35-yard line. You can see the Morenci band on the other far side getting ready for halftime. 4:51 left here in the second quarter. It's going to be a roll to the right. Pressure by the Redskins, though. And just like that, Roybal is dropped for a loss inside their 30-yard line.
And that was a blitz right up the middle. Roybal reads it, tries to get outside, but Pacer Wiltbank along with number 52, John Holden for St. John's, doing a good job of just chasing Roybal down in the backfield before he could get ahead of steam. So a big loss there will put Morenci at about 3rd and 14, 15.
3rd and 15 for the Morenci Wildcats. Roybal looks like out of the shotgun's got a single back behind him. 2-by-2, the formation looks left, comes forward with pressure. He's going to keep trying to keep his feet and manages, but still brought down. A lot of pressure, gets the ball almost out to the line of scrimmage before he's brought down.
And again, that's good pass rush by the St. John's, really not allowing Roybal any time to set his feet and have a chance to look downfield for any open receivers. So just outstanding work by that front for St. John's. I also think they had a blitz going as well. Looked like they sent Joseph Ramsey, number 5, on that play.
So here we are in the punt formation. The snap high, but gets it off. It's a low kick, angling off to the left side to the Morenci sideline, and it's going to go out inside Morenci territory at about the 49-yard line, where the St. John's Redskins will take over. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Morenci 49. A short field, good field position for the St. John's Redskins. 3:27 left here, tied at 12.
Morenci really fortunate in many respects just to get that punt off. There was good pressure. Looked like that could have been blocked, but they're lucky to, like I said, to get that punt off. Not a great punt, but much better than having it blocked.
It's Sanchez now under center. He's got an I formation, 2 receivers to the right. Hands off to the second back, Ramsey. Ramsey with good vision makes those quick cuts and manages to pick up 2 yards, 3 yards before brought down.
So Matthew Garcia along with Patrick Provencio in on the tackle for Morenci on that play. But again, Ramsey doing a good job for St. John's, just finding the yards where they give it to him up the middle there. It's very congested with the good-sized lines on both sides of the football.
2nd and 7 now for the St. John's Redskins. I formation. Sanchez under center. He's going to keep on the option, turns it upfield just inside the tackle, quickly inside the 40-yard line. Looks like he'll be close to that Mountain Mobile Autoglass first down.
Chris Roybal as well, number 28, with the initial hit from Morenci, not able to drag him down, but Mark Roybal coming over from his safety position to finish him off. But again, not after a good game by Sanchez for the first down.
So that will be a Mountain Mobile Autoglass first down. Sanchez, nice little run on that on the keeper. No hesitation. Once he faked it, turned upfield, right off tackle. 2:16 here, clock ticking. Tied at 12, St. John's driving inside the 40-yard line of Morenci. Sanchez now out of the shotgun. He's got a single back beside him. Looks left. Quick little throw. And it's going to be Fielder on the catch. Gets the ball inside the 40, maybe about the 37-yard line before he's brought down.
Isaac Pacheco, the corner, or either the corner or the outside linebacker. I think he's an outside linebacker, quickly moving over off on that catch to the outside. So a good open field tackle by him to limit the gain. Just barely even a yard on that reception.
Inside the minute 37 mark, tied at 12. St. John's Redskins driving. 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, Sanchez hands off to Ramsey. Ramsey cuts back left inside the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Cuts back inside the 5, driving to the goal line, and it is a score for Ramsey. Just an incredible run, punt.
39-yard touchdown run, as you say, Bill. Great jump cut by Ramsey. Seeing the congestion inside on the replay. You'll see it here, this bounce right here where he goes outside. And then Ulibarri, number 22, if there's anybody that can be credited for helping with that touchdown, it's Ulibarri. Look at that great blocking, just continuing to hit players, allowing Ramsey room to find the end zone. Just great execution on that play by those two players for St. John's.
Great score for the St. John's Redskins, now taking the lead, 18-12. The PAT, we'll see what happens here. Actually, they're going for 2. It looks like it's Sanchez with an I formation. He's going to hand off to he's going to fake it, makes the pitch around the left side. Is it Ramsey into the end zone? He gets it. That's the first, well, not PAT, but going for the 2 points. And now our score 20-12, 1:13 left here in the half. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
All right, you're clear for 30.
I got this.
Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
5, 3, 6, 5, 9, 7, 0. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass cash back to you.
He's got good. Welcome back to St. John's High School. You're listening to high school football presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk 106.7 KNKI, Pine Top Sholo, and on 102.5 Pine Top, a Kopanicki communication station. St. John's Redskins on the kickoff. It's going to be just a short squib kick, taken inside the 40, about the 37 by 22, and he's brought down for a loss. He's going to get the ball back to about the 34-yard line before he's brought down.
Taylor Hammond for St. John's coming in with a hard hit on number 22. Justice Bowling for Morenci. Looked like he was trying to get, Bowling was trying to get back to the middle of the field where his blockers were, but credit Hammond doing a great job of shutting him down before he could even figure out where to go with the football.
Yeah, maybe not the best decision trying to returning back to the middle of the field, losing some yards, but still good position, field position for the Morenci Wildcats, starting at the 34-yard line. 109 left here in the first half. Our score 20-12. St. John's Redskins up. Looks like it's Roybal out of the shotgun. He's looking left. Lots of time for Roybal. He's going to roll left, throws left, and he just overthrows. The receiver had a chance, jumps up to get it, can't come up with it.
Well, like you said, Bill, credit that line for Morenci doing a great job of giving Roybal tons of time. That's something he hasn't had much of in this game, and I thought that was a well-placed pass, a little high to a short-statured receiver, and is that McCarthy? Casillas on the intended receiver. Looked to me like the receiver just didn't jump at the right time to go up and get that ball, but you can't fault Roybal on that play. He did what he needed to do to get the ball out there.
Right at the 1 minute mark here in the first half. 2nd and 10 out of the shotgun. It's Roybal. He's going to fake the draw, looks in the middle, but pressure coming from the outside, and Roybal is going to be dropped for a loss.
Well, Roybal doing a good job. It looked like he might be able to beat that rush by Jessup stepping up into the pocket, but Jessup reaching out and just grabbing enough jersey to get the sack.
Timeout, St. John's, first of the half.
There's a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. 20-12, St. John's up. 37 seconds left here in the first half. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
That's awesome.
Welcome back to St. John's High School. 37 seconds left on the clock. 20-12 our score. St. John's Redskins on top. Morenci with the ball now. It is Roybal under center. He's got a single back. Motion coming back inside. It's going to be given to the motion. Bouncing around the left side, the right side. But Chavaria is going, or just going nowhere as Jessup brings him down.
Jessup and company, there's a bunch of guys out there with him, so just good defensive reads by...
Timeout, St. John's, second of the half.
Yeah, St. John's calling another timeout. Coach Morgan definitely interested to see if he can get the ball back. We're just at 26 seconds left in the second here before halftime.
You know, we're going to take it down to Ron Everingham. Ron down on the sidelines. Hey, seems like the north-south running a lot more effective than the east-west for the Morenci Wildcats.
Well, you know, you could say that, but I'm just kind of curious about these two quick timeouts. You know, St. John's getting a little push after that 39-yard run. Now they're going to score again. What do you think about that, Bill?
26 seconds is what I think left on the clock, 20-12. Morenci now punting with a 4th and 20. Snap gets back,
they're
punt
going to
gets
set
up,
back for a
and it's
return.
setting up for the return of the Redskins. The ball's going to bounce, takes Wildcat bounce into St. John's territory, finally touched at about the 42-yard line. So with that, the St. John's Redskins will take over now from the right hash of about the 42-yard line. 18 seconds left here on the clock for the first half. St. John's Redskins taking over. You can see Coach Morgan in deep discussion now. Excellent field position for the Redskins, Bud.
Well, you know, but Morenci fortunate to get a nice, actually a fairly decent punt off that time. The last time we saw them kick, not so much the case. Not a really short field in front of St. John's here. They're starting at the 141. They just got 18 seconds left.
Out of the shotgun, they've got a 2x2 formation, single back out of the shotgun. Sanchez looks for the screen. It's going to go to Ramsey. Ramsey on the left side, behind his back, bounces outside, inside the 30, drops his shoulder, gets to about the 25.
Oh, big
instead
mistake.
of going out of bounds.
I don't know why
5
he didn't go out of
seconds left
bounds.
on the clock.
You can hear the fans and guys up here in the press box kind of curious as to why he did not go out of bounds. But regardless, great play calling by Coach Morgan. And for those, if we have a replay, I'm not sure if we do.
Timeout, St. John's, final timeout of the half.
You can see the line for St. John's just doing an outstanding job. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys roll out with that front line, doing a great job of setting the wedge for Ramsey. He elects to bounce outside, just reading his blocks, doing a great job getting down the sideline. Right here, though, surprisingly, trying to stay in bounds. That keeps the clock moving, maybe ticks off a couple of seconds that otherwise would stay on the clock. But they've got basically 1, maybe 2 plays left here, depending on what they elect to do on this down here.
Absolutely. You know what impressed me is the way Ramsey stays behind his blocks. You
Yes.
know he's got speed, but very patient, lets his blocks set up, and then as you mentioned, when he does make his cut, gets it around and down the field he goes. But so with that, though, St. John's Redskins, Coach Morgan's got to be happy. You know, they've eaten up a big chunk there on that play as they're all the way inside or just outside the Morenci 25-yard line. St. John's Redskins now coming back off the timeout. They've got a 2-by-2 formation. Out in the shotgun is Sanchez. He's got a single back behind him. He's going to look left, looks right, pump fakes and throws deep down the right side. And it looks like it's a Hail Mary. A bunch of people down there as the clock goes off.
Well,
there's a flag on the field.
Right, there's a flag that came in from the backfield. So that would suggest a penalty against St. John's.
Holding on the offense.
And that's what we get. So we won't be able to finish the half on a penalty. I'm guessing they'll go.
Holding on the offense declined. Halftime.
Okay, so they're going to decline the penalty here, and we go to halftime.
Well, that's going to be half. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web 1067.com.
Want to save money on your next vehicle? Then go to the place with the lowest price guaranteed. Sholo Ford guarantees the lowest price on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. Plus, every new Ford gas engine vehicle comes with a lifetime engine warranty. Thought you could get a better deal in Phoenix? Think again. The absolute best deal in the state of Arizona is at Sholo Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in northern Arizona, and soon to be #1 in the state of Arizona. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year. This has been an iTalk 106.7 Sports Exclusive.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional
Welcome back to St. John's High School. Great shot of the cheer group, dance group out on midfield for the St. John's Redskins, doing a great job. And the St. John's Redskins have to be happy. That score right before going into half. St. John's Redskins now with the lead 20-12. This is the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. Sunrise Park Resort, if you're looking to take advantage of the summer activities, including zipline tours, scenic lift rides, rock climbing, airbag jump, downhill mountain biking, and all kinds of different action. They're open this weekend for the Fall Festival Punt. A great place to go up and enjoy the colors starting to change. But this is the Sunrise Park Resort halftime and punt. Let's go over a scoring recap, if you can, of the first half.
Will do. So we start the game off with St. John's receiving the opening kickoff. And on their first drive, scoring on a 15-yard touchdown pass to Graham Nielsen from Sanchez with 9:45 on the clock in the first quarter. They missed the point after, however, a partially blocked kick, that bringing the score to 6-0. And then Morenci answering on their first possession at 6:34 in the first quarter after a good kickoff return. Chavaria with a 5-yard touchdown run, and St. John's blocking the point after attempt to bring the score to 6-6. And then with just 50 seconds left in the first, a 1-yard touchdown run by Hammond for St. John's. Again, St. John's failing on the point after attempt. It was a run, so the score going to 12-6 on that touchdown. And then in the second quarter, 6:39 left on the clock, a 21-yard touchdown run by Pacheco for Morenci, and again a failed point after pass attempt to tie the score up at 12. And then with just 1:13 left in the second, a big touchdown run, 39 yards by Ramsey. And this time St. John's finally able to convert on a point after run attempt to bring us to the score where we're at right now at halftime, 20-12.
Well, you can hear the Morenci band now kicking off, and again, for you watching online, can watch it as well. Great job by this crew that we have of high school students from Show Low and Show Low and Snowflake, who every weekend bring you some great shots and just do an outstanding job, quality job, video production of the high school football games. Punt, we've had a lot of action. I can't help with these coaches. There's a lot of good things they can feel about. Both teams have done well, but a lot of mistakes left out on the field, a lot of frustration that they could make improvements on for both teams.
Well, it's a very close football game when you consider that one possession where Morenci was able to drive down to, I don't know, probably the 8-inch line, it seemed like, of St. John's. They were right at the door of putting some points up, and they had those two penalties back-to-back that drove them all the way back beyond the 20. And they ultimately were not able to score on that possession. But other than that, I mean, we've had a really close football game. You know, I don't know we'll go to the stats here with Mike Caldwell here in a little bit. But, you know, by no means can either team feel really comfortable because of the mistakes that you talked about, Bill. There's some things that I think both clubs, I'm sure, are talking about in the locker room here at halftime to try to fix in the second half.
Well, you mentioned it. When we return, we're going to go down to Mike Caldwell. He's going to be giving us some stats from the first half. You are listening to the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. Again, Sunrise Park Resort open this fall festival weekend. It's a good opportunity to catch them for their summer activities, zip line tours, scenic lift rides, rock climbing, airbag jump, downhill mountain biking, and lots more. That is Sunrise Park Resort. Our score, 20-12. We'll be back in just about 1 minute.
I got this. Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to St. John's High School, home of the Redskins. Our score 20-12. You're listening to the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. And Punt, we're going to jump down to Mike Caldwell for some of the stats from the first half. Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. You know, the score is 20-12, so it is a close game on the scoreboard, but really the stats are
kind of misleading because St. John's is really actually dominating. Morenci's benefited from good field positions from their special teams. They've had a couple good kickoff returns, so that's helped them. But let's just go ahead and go through them. So passing for the St. John's Redskins is Ramon Sanchez, 5 of 7 for 111 yards and 1 TD. Receiving, Joseph Ramsey's leading the way, receiving and rushing. Let's go to receiving first. 2 receptions for 55 yards. Graham Nielsen has chipped in 1 reception, but it was for a 15-yard TD. Rushing, Joseph Ramsey, 9 carries, 117 yards and 1 TD of the 39 yards. Taylor Hammond added 5 carries for 20 yards and the TD from 1 yard out. Bringing the totals, 111 passing. Rushing was 150, so we got 261 yards for the Redskins. They do have 1 turnover, and they got 3 penalties. Morenci, St. John's has really done a good job shutting them down. And Morenci has had some good games, but the pass rush has led to a couple sacks, 3 sacks, and so that's kind of hurt their yardage. Passing, Mark Roybell is only 1 for 2 for 4 yards. Rushing, Steven Chavira, 6 carries for 25 yards. So their totals are 71 yards total. So St. John's, although the score is 20-12, they really have dominated this first half stat-wise, and so we look forward to seeing where the second half goes.
Well, one of the interesting things to me is that I know that Morenci has a great kick return, but some short kicks have really allowed Morenci to have great field position. We've seen short fields by the Morenci Wildcats that really put a lot of pressure on that St. John's defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely when they've had the short field, that's where they were able to come up with their points here in the first half. And we talk about keys in the second half. I think that's going to be one of the keys for Morenci is diversify their offense enough to where they can maybe hold the ball. They're obviously very run-oriented. They've tried to throw the ball a few times, not much success. But if they can get a long, sustained drive, those are the kinds of things I think are going to make a difference for them in the second half. St. John's, on the other hand, it seems like defensively they're getting a lot of good pressure on Morenci when the few times we've seen Morenci try to throw the football, and that's been key for the Redskins. Ultimately, giving up big plays, I think, is also not giving up big plays is going to also be another big key for St. John's here in the second half, because St. John's offensively, when they get the ball, they seem to do a fairly good job of between the run and pass game of maintaining those longer possessions to eat the clock up. And when they have the lead coming back from halftime, I think that's going to be a benefit to the extent they can continue to do that.
Well, there you've got it. The keys to the game. Ace Hardware has a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car, just need a key replaced. Any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware, your helpful place, with 3 locations, Pine Top, Overguard, and Sholo. And Punt, again, we got a lot of action coming in the second half, but this first half, we've got our work cut out for us. You do, and I think Mike as well. We've got the straight line play of the game, Beeler Orthodontics, Live to Smile, Love Your Smile. That is coming up. We've also got the Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. And again, we saw some great contact going here on the first half. It has a tendency to pick up intensity levels in the second half. But Deemer's Glass, need your glass for your home or business. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call. Quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass, call 188-GLASSMAN. Then we've also got the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. And I tell you what, just in the first half, I think Ramsey has to be in the running. Well, for sure there's a lot of guys, but Ramsey has been pretty inspiring for this St. John's Redskins team. We saw him early on get up kind of shaky, came off the field, has come back in and made some outstanding plays. Again, Ramsey did a great job, I thought, in the first half.
Yeah, on both sides of the football field, defensively and offensively, really stepping up. There's some other guys that we've been calling their names and numbers quite a bit. T.J. Heap, Diego Hernandez, Jessup, among others on the St. John side. And, Pacheco and Cheveria and some other guys on the Morenci side. So this is we've got a whole full half of football left. And both of these teams definitely have a shot at walking away with a W here tonight. So it should be a highly charged second half here between these two big competitive football teams.
Well, I think that's going to about wrap it up for the Sunrise Park Resort halftime. Again, this is the last weekend, I think, to enjoy the summer activities up at Sunrise. Check it out. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Scenic lift rides, just beginning to get some of the fall colors, but airbag jump, mountain or wall climb, tubing, summer tubing, mountain biking, all kinds of action. That's up at Sunrise. Zip lining as well. You can check it out on the web, sunriseskipark.com. When we return, it'll be second half action. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
Hey, Mike, you want to...
I got this. Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Want to save money on your next vehicle? Then go to the place with the lowest price guaranteed. Sholo Ford guarantees the lowest price on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. Plus, every new Ford gas engine vehicle comes with a lifetime engine warranty. Thought you could get a better deal in Phoenix? Think again. The absolute best deal in the state of Arizona is at Sholo Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in northern Arizona, and soon to be #1 in the state of Arizona. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College. A great shot if you're looking online to the St. John's Redskins. We're going to go down to Ron Everingham on the sidelines. And Ron, you had an opportunity to speak to the coaching staff of the St. John's Redskins.
Yes, I did. Thanks, Bill. Thanks for bringing it down to me. I took most of the first half in the concession stand, but appreciate you giving me an opportunity here. But Coach Morgan said basically he thinks that they can pound it down their throats, and so he's going to come out. He also thinks that he thinks that breaking it out wide on him is going to be open. So I would look for them to be, continue to pound it, but then also look for the deep ball and the sweeps.
So basically you're saying it's the normal Coach Morgan style, which is he can do it all. They're pounding inside, but they're also going – they can open it up and let it loose anytime.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. You know what? It's great talking to you down on the sidelines, Ron. We've tried to go to you a few times, and it looks like you're trying to catch the Morenci coach. We're going to shoot it back down to Ron Everingham. Ron?
Yeah, down here with head coach Dave Gallegos. Coach, great first half there. Just the last couple minutes there, he lost some points on that 39-yard run. What'd you tell the boys at half?
There's just little things we got to do. Of course, there's, the main two things on the field. You got to block and you got to tackle, and that's what we talked about. We're going to try to do a better job of blocking and tackling. So.
Okay, it's as easy as that, right? Okay. All right, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Back up to you guys.
Well, thanks. And again, nice of Coach Gallegos. Has to be frustrated. Punt, had the ball inside the 1 yard line. You mentioned about it. 2 penalties, and it comes all the way back outside. And again, I think eventually St. John scores on that.
Right. Yep, they did. Well, Morenci did ultimately. I was wrong. I thought they went empty on that possession. They did break off that big run, but regardless, those kinds of mistakes are the kinds of things that Morenci just cannot afford playing against a pretty tough home team tonight.
Well, again, we talked about it. When it comes to kick off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College. You know, Morenci Wildcats, they won the toss. They deferred in the first half. Luckily, St. John's Redskins, he kind of managed Greg Chavez, the referee out there, really ran the whole show basically as both teams were confused. But St. John's Redskins almost kicked instead, but luckily Chavez had talked to the coach ahead of time. St. John's took over, and on that first possession they scored. They're going to be kicking off now. Morenci Wildcats will be receiving. Morenci, they are lined up on the south end. St. John's Redskins on the north end. So left to right.
They had to make an adjustment here to get the teams.
I think we got to get it right.
Started off.
Looks like Morenci's going to be going from right to left. I'm sorry, and the Redskins will be kicking off. And hopefully the second half has the same action as we saw in the first. Deep to receive for the Morenci Wildcats. They're switching again, so disregard everything we said. We said they were going from right to left. Now they're going to be going left to right. Will the Morenci Wildcats, St. John's Redskins, they want, looks like the clock in the fourth quarter, they want the scoreboard. Right now their back is to the scoreboard. And right behind the scoreboard, big flag, you can see a little bit of wind will be their favor. And then, thank you, Ron. We've got Ron on the sidelines reminding us of the fireworks. Every time the St. John's Redskins score, there is a great loud fireworks.
Is there a moon out tonight? Maybe they're looking for the right. Okay, well,
full moon.
I thought
Deep to
maybe
receive
the moon was in play
for
as
the
well.
Morenci Wildcats. It looks like it's number 8. Is that correct? It looks like it's number 8, Steve Chavaria. Steven Chavaria, and kicking off. The fielder is to kick. It's going to be a short kick, taken about the 32-yard line, going laterally, losing ground, but headed towards the Morenci sidelines. And the runner for the Morenci Wildcats will get stopped after a gain of maybe about 3 yards.
Justice Bowling again. We saw that in the first half where he received that short pooch kick and ended up running sideways and losing yards. This time maybe gaining back just a few, but regardless, Morenci again with good starting field position. We talked about that. One of the advantages they had, or one of the positives they had, at least in that first half. So they'll start this first possession of the second half at their 38-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 38 under center. It's going to be Roybal. He's got an I formation. I back set, and there's a whistle again. Not a great start here in the second half.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. 5 yards. First down.
Another false start for Morenci Wildcats backing them up 5 yards.
And that's what Coach talked about with Ron is, just 5 minutes ago, that time 78, the outside tackle on that left side, jumping the count. So Morenci starting their first possession of the second half with a penalty.
1st and 15 now out of the I set. It's going to be handoff to the second back. Chavaria, he's going to be met by a bunch of change the right side of that defense of the St. John's Redskins.
Good job defensively by St. John's, just filling the inside gaps up. Chavaria, I'm not sure if that was a designed outside run, but he tries bouncing outside at least, and linebackers and defensive front just doing a great job for St. John's, really limiting him to not much of a gain at all, if any.
2nd and 14 from about the 33.5-yard line. Out of the I formation, it's looking left, quick little throw on the slant. It looked like, or out to the flat, but it's going to bounce off the hands of the receiver.
I'm not sure who's the number 18, Colin Batchelder, the intended receiver, but Ramsey jumping underneath for St. John's on that route. He actually tipped the pass. So St. John's defensively starting off very solid here in the second half.
It'll be third down now and long, 3rd and 14. Roybal under center. He's got double wings, this time motion coming from the far side, and it's a pitch around towards us to the near side, turning upfield, cutting it back inside is Deck. Gets the ball almost to the 40-yard line. Nice little gain of about 6 yards.
Number 7, Chris Deck. We saw him run the ball a few times for Morenci in that first half. He also busted off a nice, well, the biggest kick return, Morenci's first kick return, that put them in position for their first touchdown of the game.
So back to punt now. It'll be the St. Morenci Wildcats, 4th and 9. Chris Roybal will be deep to receive. The punt's going to go up. I'm sorry, it's Ramsey that's going to be receiving. Punt's going to bounce at about the 35-yard line, goes sideways, immediately touched and picked up by the Morenci Wildcats. And the ball is going to be 1st and 10 now for the St. John's Redskins from the 35-yard line. It'll be their first possession here in the second half. And punt, you heard Ron talk about it, really looking to kind of pound inside maybe or stick to that running game early on. We'll see how well they do it. But that is the plan for the St. John's Redskins. Quarterback, number 9, Ramon Sanchez. He's only a sophomore. He beat out the senior quarterback, and John Robinson, and took over that pretty impressive play for Sanchez. Out of the shotgun, he's got a single back. It's going to go to Ramsey. Cuts around the left side, and again, just drops his shoulder, gets every extra yard, gets the ball out to about the 43-yard line.
And again, they start inside, does Ramsey, and then breaks outside quickly with that nice wall of blockers. Mark Roybal, number 5. And again, he's a safety, having to come over to make the tackle, going in low against Ramsey to drop him, but not after about an 8-yard gain.
Ramsey, nice and fun guy to watch. Again, just lowers his shoulder. Under center now it's Sanchez. He's got double slots on both sides. Hands off to the dive back, Hammond. Hammond's going to just keep his feet churning. Close to the first down. We'll see if they give him the mark.
Good job by Hammond. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage, but he just, as you say, continues to keep those feet moving and moving sideways, looking for space. But ultimately able to just get the yard he needed to get that first down for St. John's.
You're right. That is a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. 1st and 10 for the St. John's Redskins from the 45-yard line. Out of the under center is Sanchez. Out of the I set. Keeps the ball, goes around the left side on the option, gets all the way to the St. John's Redskins sideline, and he's brought down at about the 43-yard line.
And Casillas coming over for the tackle, but that's a nice read by Sanchez. Good keep by him on that option pitch. He'll keep it inside, or he was running outside, but instead of going to the pitch man, turns upfield and gets another first down for St. John's. So St. John's, as Coach Morgan said at halftime, they're going to try attacking the outside and beating up the middle, and so far so good for their offense.
Well, that's Sanchez with that Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down now. Sanchez under center, I formation, 2 receivers to the near side. Hands off to the I-back, Ramsey. Early stiff, big stiff arm, and he keeps his feet churning, spinning, gets the ball inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line.
Christian Alva and Tio Casillas in on the tackle for Morenci. But again, Ramsey doing a good job of bouncing outside to gain about 4, maybe 5. That brings his total, I think, for the night up to 130 yards rushing. And we're just early here on the in the third quarter.
So with that, it's now 2nd and 6 from about the 38-yard line. Sanchez under center. He's got an I formation. Wide receivers to both, a single wide receiver each side. Fakes the handoff, rolls right, looks deep, throws deep. Well behind the defender, it's Ulibarri. Catches the ball as he turns around and then dropped as he staggers towards the end zone.
That's Ulibarri beating number 1, David Corona for Morenci. Corona is a defensive back, but Ulibarri able to get behind him, and credit Sanchez for throwing the ball out, letting his receiver run underneath. You can see Sanchez dropping back in the pocket here, throwing just a high looping ball, allowing the receiver time to run into it and beat that defender deep, they're going to be at about the 4-yard line of Morenci.
That's going to be a Mountain Mobile Autoglass first down. Sanchez under center, hands off to the single back. Hammond, quick dive up inside. We'll see. It's hard from this angle to see what he got, but picked up maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Looks like they're going to get to about the 2-yard line of Morenci. Does St. John's on that run by Hammond. And again, Hammond just following that big line right up the gut. Good line surge.
Again, this is the first St. John's possession here in the second half. 7:13 left here in the third quarter. 20-12 our score. Redskins up. St. John's getting ready to score again, though. Looks like it's out of the shotgun. Sanchez, he's got a single back beside him, and it's a read option, gives it to Ramsey. Takes it up center over the left guard. St. John's showing touchdown, and now the umpire showing touchdown. With that, the St. John's Redskins put another 6 on the board. 6:57 here in the third quarter, and the St. John's Redskins get into the end zone. Our score 26-12. We'll see what happens for the PAT, but nice little run, that read option by Sanchez.
Right, Ramsey just following those big linemen on that left side. You got to credit that Morenci defense. I mean, that was a close play at the goal line. Wasn't really clear for a while there whether you got in or not, but St. John's with enough of a line surge to get in for the touchdown.
St. John's going for 2, empty set, looking left, looking right, connecting with Ulibarri on the slant. St. John's Redskins pick up another 2 points. Our score 28-12. 6:57 left here in the third quarter. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back to St. John's High School. For those of you watching online, great shot of the St. John's cheerleaders kicking for his fielder for the Redskins, deep to receive, Chavaria. It's going to go short there to the left up back deck on the return. He's going to spin, and he's going to get outside the 25, maybe to the 27-yard line, brought down by Hammond.
Hammond along with Ethan Jessup, good coverage by them on that kick return. So Morenci, who really kind of sputtered in that first possession in the second half, they'll start here at their 28, see if they can answer that score by St. John's on their first possession of the second half. So St. John's continuing to keep the momentum here early in the second half.
That kick was a Northland Pioneer kickoff. When it comes to kickoffing your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. Kickoffing, you can see college was the best 8 years of my life, and I'm almost going to graduate. 6:41 left here in the third quarter. 28-12 our score, and again, just on that run play by the Harrington, the Morenci Wildcats pick up about 6 yards. Check that. Brought down by Ajos of the Redskins. So it'll be leaving them with a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, maybe a short 5.
Well, that's one of the better gains so far in the second half for Morenci on that run. St. John's defense being very stingy coming out of the locker room at halftime.
Tight set, double wings motion, and they're going to cut back on that counter. We saw the counter going left. St. John's Redskins this time not fooled in the least. Ulibarri comes up from his secondary position, and that's in the running for one of the Beeler orthodontic, or not only Beeler orthodontic straight line of the game, but one of the glass shattering hits of the game by Deemer's Glass.
Well, that's good contained outside there by marked by Ahil's number 34, able to grab a jersey of a very speedy runner, and then having Ulibarri come up to finish him off. Just good combo tackling there by the Redskins.
3rd and 5 for the Morenci Wildcats now from their own 34-yard line. They're lining up in that double wing slant, dropping to pass. It's
no time.
And Jessup there to meet him, and he's going to be dropped for a loss on the call. But great stop by that St. John's defense.
Number 60, Tate Skousen, along with some other guys with good pressure up front, again from that St. John's defense.
Roybal had no time at all.
Sorry, that's not 60. I can't read these numbers. It's Diego Hernandez, number 68. These numbers for St. John's I'm having a hard time with, but good pressure again by the defensive front by St. John's. Quarterback having no time.
4th and long now for the Morenci Wildcats. They're going to be punting. This punt is going to go end over end. It's going to land about the 43-yard line. Morenci right there. No return for Ramsey, as the ball is finally going to be set at about the 36-yard line of the St. John's Redskins. Still great field position for the Redskins.
And again, Morenci just having a tough time getting their offense even going here in the second half. That St. John's defense just doing an outstanding job at the line of scrimmage in particular, just shutting off gaps, and also doing an excellent job of containing the outside as well.
You can see the energy, Coach Morgan and his staff, a lot of coaching going on the St. John's sidelines. Morenci almost looking a little bit tired right now. 4:31 left here in the third quarter. And it's a quick handoff to Sanchez. Quick dive. Hammond with a spin gets out, makes a few defenders miss, picks up a couple extra yards.
Again, not a huge gain by St. John's necessarily, but good line surge up front, opening things up for Hammond for him to be able to get that spin off, gain a couple.
Well, and
more importantly, they're burning the clock is St. John's here in the second half or in the third quarter.
I formation under center. Sanchez, he's going to hand off. He's going to fake the handoff. A high pitch over a defender for the Morenci Wildcats, and Ramsey comes down with it. Not a pitch you would normally see, and you would expect somebody to be talking to that sophomore quarterback saying, let's think about this.
Well, I guess you could credit him for knowing to have to pitch it to get it over the defender, but that's a really dangerous pitch. Ramsey, you got to credit him for just containing what could otherwise be a disastrous play. They're going to end up losing yards, but it could have been a lot worse.
Well, again, so it'll be 3rd and 13 now for the St. John's Redskins. 2-by-2 is the formation. Single back out of the shotgun is Sanchez. Sanchez is looking down the center of the field, looks left, throws left, deep. Jessup, and Jessup is worked out of bounds down the sideline. Flag on the play.
Yeah, they're going to call interference on that play against number 3 for Morenci. That's Braden McCarthy. He's in coverage, just basically maintaining contact with his arm on Jessup as he runs down the field.
Pass interference, defense.
I don't know if we have replay on that, but yeah, I'm not sure about that call. But anyway.
So we'll see where the mark is, but you can see immediately Coach Morgan talking to the quarterback, Sanchez.
Pass interference on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot.
So they'll just make a first down. That'll be a Mountain Mobile Autoglass first down for the St. John's Redskins. 3:09 left here in the third quarter. 28-12, St. John's Redskins up with the ball and just shy of midfield at their own 48-yard line. Now there's a discussion over on the other side. Morenci coach Gallegos not happy with the call and expressing his displeasure. Luckily, the referee Chavez has shut down his mic. So maybe let's shoot it down to Ron punt and let's see what Ron's got.
15 yards gives them enough for a first down.
Yeah, I'm not quite. Thanks, Bill. I'm not quite sure what Coach Gallegos was seeing. He's clear on the other side of the field, but the play happened right in front of me, and I thought there was good enough contact for pass interference, but that's just what I saw here.
Shotgun formation, 2-by-2 motion, and it's going to be Fielder going around the right side, turns upfield, quick burst inside the 40-yard line of Morenci Wildcats, brought down at about the 38-yard line.
And again, just outstanding blocking out on the outside there by St. John's. You can see these linemen working up the middle, but a good key block by number 7, Hammond, as well, to free up the space for Jared Fielder to cut up field and get a nice gain for the first down.
Yeah, if you're watching online, you can definitely see some great video action as well as replays. 2-by-2, the formation. Sanchez under center. It's got the single back. And it's going to be a draw this time to Ramsey. But Ramsey, he does a spin move, but brought down hard by Pacheco, one of the big hitters for the Wildcats.
Well, Pacheco has actually, in my opinion, been in on a couple of plays that you could qualify as hit of the game, but that just outstanding defensive play that time by Pacheco on that draw play.
Well, that's in the running by Pacheco for that glass-shattering hit of the game. Deemer's Glass, need glass for your home or business. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call. Quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass, call 188-GLASS-MAN. So with that, it'll be now 2nd and 15 from about the 44-yard line. And again, it looked like timeout on the field.
Timeout, St. John's.
By Coach Morgan. We're going to keep it here, but Coach Morgan called that timeout. Why?
Well, he had 12 guys on the field. Ramsey was trying to get off, and I'm guessing he anticipated the potential of a penalty. Yeah, so basically Morgan beating the referee to the penalty call, in my opinion.
Nice job by awareness by Coach Morgan. I think those years of experience really paying off. Obviously, a winning tradition here in St. John's, at St. John's High School. 1:53 here in the third quarter. Our score 28-12. Redskins on top, and they have the ball just inside the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. Looks like it's going to be the 44-yard line. We're looking at a 2nd down, 15 to go for first. And Coach Morgan on that timeout, we'll see what he comes up with. Punt, he talked about running the ball, pounding the ball. We've seen him air it out a couple times.
Yeah, well, their run game definitely in control here in the second half.
Trips to the far side, one receiver to the near side. Out of the shotgun is Sanchez. He moves his back to his right, and there's a whistle on the play, and it looks like it's going to go against the Redskins.
It's going to be
dead ball, false start on the offense. 5 yards.
It's going to be
repeat 2nd down.
It's going to be the tackle on that left side, if I can read the number right, because I'm struggling with 5s and 6s. Yeah, it's Pacer Wiltbank.
Coach Morgan had his hands on his hips yelling out there. I'm sure he saw the number. 1:51 here in the third quarter. St. John's Redskins now looking at a 2nd down, 20 yards to go.
I think that's Joseph
We'll see how they come
Lucero.
back by and get it. 3-by-1, 3 on the far side, 1 to the near side. Sanchez looking left, throwing deep left. Deep is Ulibarri. Ulibarri on the throw underneath.
Catch.
Comes back and makes the outstanding catch.
Well, what happens is the DB was in good coverage. That's number 3, Braden McCarthy. You can see him looking the eyes of the receiver. But what he does, you can see him tracking right there, but it's a back shoulder catch by Ulibarri. Great adjustment by Ulibarri to cut back on the defender. That's just outstanding play there. Not only to be able to cut back, but then also make the catch.
Well, that's going to be in the running for the straight line play of the game. Live to smile, love your smile. St. John's Redskins 1st and 10 from just outside their 10, or the Morenci 10. A quick handoff to the dive back inside Hammond. Spinning move, keeps his feet churning. Gets inside to maybe the 5-yard line. Nice little job, quickly back inside for the Redskins.
Well, the way this Redskins running game has been going after that big pass completion to Ulibarri to put them in the red zone here. I think it's, if St. John's just can maintain their execution and not do anything penalty-wise or do something stupid, they should be in good shape here.
Great to see Ulibarri back on the field. What an impact player. You mentioned it, having a concussion. Not football related, but car accident, but already making big impact. Out of the shotgun, Sanchez. He's got a single back. Ramsey, he's going to ride the fake and turns it upfield on the option. He's going to get inside the 5 to about the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. We'll see where they place it, just shy of a first down.
That's just good, stiff defensive play up front by the defensive lineman for Morenci, doing a good job of just sealing off gaps inside. Sanchez trying to cut upfield, but really just not finding much room.
Well, it's going to be third and about 2-yard line, or 3rd and 2 from about the 4-yard line for the St. John's Redskins. Looks like it's going to be 1 second. That's going to do it for the third quarter. 28-12 our score. St. John's
end of the third quarter.
On top. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
Well,
I got this. Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family friendly.
As we begin the fourth quarter, St. John's Redskins facing a 3rd and 2. Great shot if you're returning online of the St. John's Redskins. Absolutely gorgeous night here in St. John's, Arizona, St. John's High School. Nice little breeze. St. John's Redskins, you know, they wanted the clock here for the fourth quarter. Well, they can see it right in front of them as they're sitting on their 4-yard line.
well, it's 3rd down.
I formation under center Sanchez, hands off to the second back Ramsey. Little stutter step, keeps his feet turning. Good defensive stop by the Morenci Wildcats. Close to a first down, we'll see where they place it.
Isaac Pacheco in there along with some other players. Can't see their numbers from up here. Number 21 looked like Christian Alva. And one of the defensive linemen, perhaps Matthew Garcia. Just good job by Morenci, sealing up the inside and not allowing St. John's into the end zone. So it'll leave them with 4th
St.
down.
John's, second and a half.
There's a timeout on the field, but I think we're going to keep it here. I can't seem to get these timeouts straight anyway, but punt. Again, you're short. It's 4th and 1. St. John's Redskins going for it, it looks like. What do you see happening here?
Well, you know, they've been having success with the running game. I mean, these last couple of plays, you got to credit Morenci doing a good job inside of sealing up the middle of the field where St. John's has been trying to attack. I'd be curious here to see if maybe St. John's tries to beat them outside. Because they'll be at the, is it the 3 or the, I can't tell. It's hard to tell from up here. Maybe the 3-yard line, it looks like, 2 or 3.
Morenci really fighting to keep in this game. I think another score, and it's pretty much a nail in the coffin for them. Already the score 28-12, down by 16. I think you can check the math on that. 11:37 left here, so we have 1 quarter of action left. Ramsey, you know, last play, great shot of Coach Morgan on the sidelines. Ramsey, we saw him on that last play running up the right side, had a lead back, really tried to
62 red, eligible receiver.
Now they've got a 3-by-1, trips to the near side, single receiver to the wide. They've got a big back, and it looks like Morenci might have jumped off, giving them half the distance.
Dead ball.
Well, that was the play.
Offsides on the defense.
The play,
half the distance, goal line, first down.
That was the play called by Coach Morgan, I'm sure, at that timeout, was to see if they could get him to jump. And more importantly, in the setup, the offensive setup, they're spreading out their backs, and that triples to the trips right. But they've got T.J. Heap
62 is eligible
in the backfield.
T.J. Heap, a linebacker, offensive lineman, on the dive.
Oh, man.
T.J. Heap, quick off the line. He's a 195-pounder, and into the end zone, another score for the St. John's Redskins. Do you think we could call him the refrigerator?
I don't know if he's that big, but, I mean, he, as you say, he's quick off the ball, and you can see him hit the line of scrimmage with a full head of steam, and just does a great job of punching it in.
Hey, it's not often the offensive lineman gets to score. Here's kudos to T.J. Heap. And again, you can bet he's probably in the running for that Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Player of the Game. So the PAT, oh, it looks like there's going to be a little bit of heated action out on the field. Tempers flaring. Our score is going to be 34-12. We're going to step away. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
So, want to save money on your next vehicle? Then go to the place with the lowest price guaranteed. Sholo Ford guarantees the lowest price on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. Plus, every new Ford gas engine vehicle comes with a lifetime engine warranty. Thought you could get a better deal in Phoenix? Think again. The absolute best deal in the state of Arizona is at Sholo Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in northern Arizona, and soon to be #1 in the state of Arizona. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce.
It is 2x2. Welcome back to St. John's High School, 34-12. Our score, 11:33 left here. St. John's Redskins after the score, no point after, and they're kicking off. It's a high kick to the left side. And it's going to be taken by Deck inside the or outside the 30 or the 20. He's going to get out to about the 27-yard line. Flag on the play, and he's dropped middle of the field.
Well, we do have a flag coming in from behind the runner. Might be a face mask is the early indication we're getting here.
You know, a little bit.
Personal foul, blindside block on the receiving team.
Oh.
You heard the call again by the referee. Blindside, Greg Chavis out there making the call. A blindside block. St. John's, you can bet, going to move him back. But when it comes to kick off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. And again, obviously I should have paid attention more in school, but punt, you've got some in college.
Personal foul, blindside block on the return team. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
You have
right.
to appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Lowest tuition when you're sending your kid the lowest tuition in Arizona. Pretty powerful statement.
Absolutely.
So with that, Morenci Wildcats now take over 1st and 10. Backed up all the way to their 15, inside their 15-yard line. Looks like it's going to be about the 14th. So from the 14-yard line, 1st and 10, Morenci Wildcats. They've got a 2x2 setup. They're going to hand off to the dive back, a quick little blast, Harrington, and he's going to run off the right guard. And a nice little gain, quick steps by the running back, staying low and moves that pile.
Well, Harrington, a good-sized running back. We haven't seen him much. I'm not sure how many carries. That's just his 4th carry for the football game, but he breaks off one of his best gains for his game tonight. But also for the Morenci offense here in the second half, they've just really struggled against a very stingy St. John's defense.
Yeah, this stout defensive front for St. John's doing a great job. Under center, Roybal this time, and he's got motion coming around to the near side. Again, fakes the handoff on the keeper, gets around the corner, keeps his feet moving. Ramsey misses him, and he's going to get out beyond the 27, 28-yard line, dropped right by the St. John's Redskins sideline.
By-Hilson Heap in and for the tackle on the Roybal. You got to credit him being really tough outside. Roybal beating that block, or I'm sorry, that tackle attempt by Ramsey. Looked like Ramsey had a shot of bringing him down for a loss, but you got to credit Roybal. He's just being really tough there and able to get the first down, fighting for the
timeout. Morenci, first of the half.
Well, Roybal with that Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. There's a timeout on the field. We'll take it as well. 10:30 left here in the game. 34-12, St. John's Redskins up. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
We have a timeout on the field for an injured player. Timeout. Officials timeout.
Well, that's the way we're going to start it here. Referee Greg Chavez making the announcement. There's a timeout on the field. A little bit unusual. We don't see anybody kneeling. Everybody huddled up after the timeout. But 10:30 left here in the game. 34-12 our score. St. John's Redskins are in the lead with 34 points. And punt, we saw.
Well, they're going to bring I'm sorry, Bill. They're going to bring looks like they're bringing a trainer.
Medic.
Over to the Morenci side of the field. I'm not sure who they're going to go.
Looks like number 5, which is the quarterback, Roybal. He's standing separate, and maybe they're reaching under his. It's hard to see from this angle, but looks like almost a shoulder.
Or maybe an elbow. Again, he was involved in that last run that got Morenci the first down, fighting through that tackle by Ramsey, but then ultimately being taken down by a couple of larger St. John's Redskins on the tackle, so he may have rolled under or something.
I will tell you, we're up here in the booth, and between the band and the fireworks, this is kind of a raucous place for a football game. Great night for football, but man, they make some noise in this stadium. St. John's Redskins up 34-12. And looks like we're taking a little bit of a break. I guess we'll step away as well. 10:30 left here in the fourth quarter. Our score 34-12. You're listening to Shola Ford's presentation. Actually, take that back. Looks like we're going to come back to action.
Well, they were warming up their quarterback. No, they
St.
were.
John's
Redskins
were all kneeling. I haven't really seen what's going on here. A little bit of confusion, mostly in my mind.
18, Colin Batchelder.
So it looks like St. John's, or the under center now is number 18 for Morenci. And a little bit over anxious. Ballejos coming
Dead
in
ball,
on the blitz.
offsides on the defense, 5 yards, first down.
He's going to jump, and it's going to be 5 yards given to the Morenci Wildcats. 1st and 5 now, Batchelder. So it'll be about the 31-yard line of the Redskins. I formation, tight set, under center. And it's going to be, is it Batchelder? Oh, fumble on the exchange between the quarterback, between the snap. Batchelder not able to hang on to it as he steps away. But luckily, the Morenci Wildcats come up with it.
Well,
it's 2nd down and 5.
It's cliche in football, but oftentimes true when you get a new quarterback working with the center, exchange between them sometimes initially can be pretty tough. And that first snap, actually, Morenci lucky, I think, to keep that ball bouncing right at the line of scrimmage.
Batchelder looks like a taller quarterback, one of the bigger quarterbacks. He's under center. He's got a single back. He's going to fake the handoff, rolls right, throws it right down the middle of the field, and misses his receiver. Deck just had overrun it, and Ballejos with the coverage.
Ballejos playing underneath, and then number 11 for St. John's, Graham Nielsen, playing over the top in a safety position. Batchelder trying to thread between and throwing a little bit behind the intended receiver, but actually not too bad of a pass considering the coverage that he was throwing into.
3rd and 5 now. 3rd and 5, a long 5, maybe 3rd. Anyway, 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats. Batchelder under center. He's got 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Drops back, looking right, looking left. Throws left on the little flare, but it almost was a lateral. I think our spotter thought it was a lateral, but it's going to be a dead ball. And the Morenci Wildcats now with the 4th and 5.
Intended receiver was Harrington, and as soon as that it actually bounced off his shoulder pads, it looked like. He didn't even make an effort to go to the ball. And that was fairly close to being lateral, but that'll leave Morenci with 4th down here. They're going to drop back into punt formation.
Punting from about the 18-yard line, 20-yard line. It's an end over. It's kind of a squibbly, wobbly bounce. It takes a sidewise bounce just beyond midfield. It's going to go to about the 48-yard line of the Redskins.
Yeah, not a very good punt there by Morenci. Just, I think, 22 yards.
So with that, it'll be 34-12. We're going to go down to the sidelines. We'll go down to Ron Everingham. Ron?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Just watching the paramedics work with the quarterback, Roy Ball, and it just looks like he may have a dislocated shoulder, his right shoulder. But he's in a lot of pain, but it just looks like it might have been dislocated or something.
St. John's Redskins now 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line in Redskins territory. Single back, it's a pitch around the right side. It's going to be Ramsey. Turns back, cuts back in, and tries to bounce back out. Trying to get every yard he can, just shy of midfield. There's a flag on the field.
Blindside block on the defense. Correction on the offense.
Pun, you heard the call. Not often a blindside block on the defense. Correction made. But St. John's Redskins not going the way they want with that penalty.
Well, there's not much room for Ramsey to navigate once he got outside. So you got to credit that Morenci defense. So, these guys are down in this football game 34-12.
Personal foul, blindside block on the offense, 15 yards, replay first down.
So with that, St. John's Redskins moving back, a costly penalty. As in order to get a first down, they got to get all the way to the Morenci 42-yard line, 43-yard line. The ball placed at the St. John's Redskins 34-yard line.
Well, and you were talking about Ramsey on that carry, just not able to find much room. And really, Morenci has done a great job here in the second half, shutting him down. He had, in the first half, was it over 100 yards, 130, I think is what his total was, or close to it. And so far in this second half, they've just limited it to, 10 yards total on 6 carries. So good job by Morenci.
Sanchez out of the shotgun. He's looking down the middle of the field. Throws deep down the right sideline. He's got a receiver.
Oh, man.
And he reaches out, leaves his feet, gets it into his fingertips. Looks like he came down with it. But when he came down, he couldn't hang on to it. Great throw. And just a great try by the receiver.
Yeah, I don't know how he gets this throw off. You can see the pressure. And again, a big high pass allowing the receiver to run underneath. And Nielsen had it in his hands, but as he comes down, and that impact with the ground knocks it loose. But a great effort all the way around.
You could see him trying to bring it in, hit his face mask, and couldn't hang on to it. St. John's Redskins now I formation under center, Sanchez. Sanchez going to have it to the I-back, Ramsey. Immediately cuts around the right side, loses his feet, and drops to the ground.
That's number 9, Tito Casillas in on the tackle. But, we've seen that run quite a bit tonight from St. John's, where Ramsey will start straight up field and then bounce to the outside. He's trying to suck those outside linebackers in as well as the defensive front. But that time, Morenci just doing a good job of keeping that outside contained and, again, limiting Ramsey fairly effectively here in the second half.
Well, that's one of the few times Ramsey making those great cuts, one of the few times we've seen him actually lose his feet as he went to the ground. Twins now, 2 receivers on each side out of the shotgun. Sanchez looking left, throws left underneath. Overthrows the receiver and almost intercepted by number 3, Braden McCarthy. And had he caught it, it would have been nothing but green field all the way down into the end zone.
Man, when you could see McCarthy from up here moving in on that ball, it looked to me like that's exactly what he was trying to do, was get to it so he could catch it and run upfield, but just not able to pull it in.
4th and long now, 4th and 23 actually for a first down. Punt formation for the St. John's Redskins. 2 backs back, Ramsey with the punt. Bowling and Chavarria, but
did it hit?
That ball's going to hit the ground, and then it actually
lineman.
took a wildcat bounce, comes back inside the 45 of the Morenci, out beyond the 45, I should say, to about the 46-yard line, where Morenci will take over 1st and 10.
I tell you, that ball came very close on the punt, bouncing into Matthew Garcia, number 54 for Morenci. From up here, it looked like it just barely missed him, but ultimately not hitting any players, so they'll down it, as you said, Bill. Morenci, again, with good starting field position here. They're really in a situation here with just under 8 minutes left in the game, down 12 to 34. they need to get points out of this possession right here if they're going to stay in this football game.
Well, absolutely. Good news is they've got good field position. Bad news is they've got their backup quarter, Batchelder, as Roybal got hurt out of the shotgun. Batchelder, he's got throwing deep down the right side. And St. John's Redskins are going to come up with the interception. And we're not sure who the player is. It's number 2. We'll try to get that for you. But interception by the Redskins. Looked like a good throw, just underthrown. Batchelder had a receiver.
He had a receiver out there, but he also had it looked like into triple coverage. I'm not sure if he thought the receiver was going to break to the outside, but you can see there are 2 defenders for St. John's. They were in a better position to catch that ball than the intended receiver, number 8.
Looked like Chavario for the Wildcats.
Chavaria.
Chavaria. Yeah, whatever. I hear Mike in my ear, so I think it's Mike telling me that. Anyway, looked like he was open. St. John's Redskins now with motion. They're going to hand off to the motion, coming around the near side with a quick turn upfield. Great acceleration. Is going to get the first down and more. His fielder, as he gets out beyond the 40, brought down at the 41-yard line.
That's a good piece of running there by number 15 fielder. You know, he's getting good blocking, of course, at the point of attack to allow him to get some room. But once he feels that pressure and gets contact, he just keeps those feet moving, running downhill, gets a good gain for the first down.
Yep, J.J. Womack on that interception. St. John's Redskins staying with the run. It's Ramsey up the inside. He's going to pick up another on that first down, which was a Mountain Mobile Autoglass first down. So now it'll be second down and about 8, 7:04 left here in the fourth quarter, 34-12 our score. St. John's Redskins, though, kind of getting back to the run now, and we see the chains moving.
Well, you know, I'd be surprised if they move too far away from the running game with the big lead here, then they can just burn the clock down.
Out of the shotgun, it's going to be a keeper for the quarterback. And Sanchez doing a nice bit of running is going to get that Mountain Mobile Autoglass first down and more as he takes the ball into Morenci territory, brought down at about the 38-yard line.
You know, I talked about Sanchez earlier, Bill, being just a sophomore and winning the starting job over a senior this year. You know, we've seen him with some good passes tonight, accurate passing, throwing the ball in a way where he allows his receivers to run underneath the deeper passes in particular. And then the few times he's elected to run the football, doing just an outstanding job tonight for the Redskins.
Out of the shotgun motion now. He's going to hand off to the motion around the left side. Is Taylor Hammond running away from us, and he's going to make the turn, but maybe gets to the line of scrimmage, and he's brought down immediately.
Again, just good defensive coverage that time by Morenci. St. John's trying to beat him to the outside, but good contained play by the Morenci defense.
So it's going to be 2nd and 11 now, 5:52 left here in the game, 34-12 our score. St. John's with the lead, St. John's with the ball as well. Trips to the near side, one receiver to the far side. Out of the shotgun is Sanchez. He's got a single back. Looks like Ramsey beside him. Looking right, throwing right, inside. And he connects with Jessup. Jessup in traffic, makes the catch, turns it into the end zone, falls in the end zone for the score. Great little play for the St. John's Redskins.
That's a 44-yard touchdown pass from Sanchez to Jessup. Jessup, again, just working the middle of the field. Sanchez benefiting from good protection to give him the time to find him, and 2 receivers actually in the same spot. I'm not sure if they intended that, but regardless, great job by Jessup pulling the ball in and then breaking free to wander into the end zone with no one touching him.
Well, St. John's Redskins now 40-12, just expanding their lead. This PAT, the kick is up. Looks like it's going to hit the side. Looks like it's going to be short, or it's going to miss to the left. With that, our score is 40-12, 5:30 left here in the game. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
St. John's High School, our score 40-12, 5:30 left here in the fourth quarter. On the kickoff for the St. John's Redskins, fielder kicks the ball left, short. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Immediately a flag is thrown, and it looks like the Morenci Wildcats, if they take it, will take over on their own 35-yard line. Pretty solid field position. We've seen them with good field position, though. Here in the second half, much better defensive pressure.
Kickoff out of bounds, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
The Morenci Wildcats are going to make the St. John's Redskins re-kick it. With that, they're going to move back 5 yards. Some great video action. Again, if you've not seen it online, we encourage you to go to iTalk1067.com. You can catch it now, catch it later, but this crew does a great job, some great shots, a bunch of veterans, but the field in great, looking great condition. Here's the kickoff. The ball is going to go deep down the middle. It's going to be taken inside the 20, about the 18, stumbles forward, and he's off to the races around the right side.
Yeah,
gets
good
around
speed.
the corner to the 35, 40, almost to the 45 where he's going to run out of bounds. I guess it's going to be the 42 where he runs out of bounds, but maybe a great call by Gallegos, the coach for the Morenci Wildcats. Better field position. They're starting out on their 42-yard line.
Well, I got to tell you, one bright spot for Morenci in the football game tonight is the special teams, especially on the kick return part. That's really, I mean, with a few exceptions with those pooch kicks, that's one area of the game tonight for them that have left them in good field position by virtue of their return guys just really doing a good job of getting upfield.
Roybal hurt a couple series ago. It's been Batchelder, the backup quarterback for the Wildcats. He's still in. Morenci Wildcats now, as they come out of the huddle, they will have two receivers to the near side, one receiver to the far side, one lone back under center. He's going to drop back looking left, and he's got pressure. He's going to fumble, but he manages to hang on and look like Jessup. Great pressure and box. Batchelder slow getting up.
And worse for Morenci, as you say, Bill, Batchelder holding his wrist, it looks like. That's a big sack by Jessup.
Batchelder, only a junior, again, getting up a little bit, shaken up. And not in the running, again, for one of those, not only maybe play of the game, but glass-shattering hits of the game, Deemer's glass. But regardless of what it is, the Morenci Wildcats all the way back inside their 30-yard line now, about the 29, where it will be first and a long way to go. We're on the board, it shows 22. So second and 22. Hands off to the little back up the inside, but that interior front for the Redskins have been pretty tough here in the second half. Drops him immediately.
Well, Batchelder, if you look at him still holding, looks like his wrist maybe. That could be one of the reasons why they just do the quick dive play. Morenci, I'm guessing, out of quarterbacks if they lose Batchelder, so they're being cautious with his play here.
Well, 40-12 our score. St. John's Redskins with scoring 40. 4:08 left, clock ticking here in the game. It's really now it's just a matter of survival for the Morenci Wildcats. Batchelder, again, the backup quarterback injured, but managing to stay out there. Roybal, their starting quarterback, taken out earlier here in the third quarter. Two receivers to the near side. Batchelder looks down the right side, throws deep. He just out-throws everybody. St. John's Redskins really had a better line on it, but good defensive play by the intended receiver.
And that's Chris Jack, the intended receiver, but he's covered very well. J.J. Womack on the coverage, step for step. That could have been anyone's ball, but again, you got to credit Batchelder. He's one, under pressure, but two, to be able to get that ball off, especially after that apparent injury to his wrist or elbow. You can see him on the sideline still working through. Now he's going to come back on the field here.
4th and 21 now. Morenci's going to punt from inside their own 20. It's Chris Roybal. He's going to get a kickoff, end over end, hits about the 40, bouncing, taking a Morenci bounce inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line, where it's going to be whistled dead. 3:34 left. Our score 40-12. St. John's Redskins probably making substitutions now, as they have a commanding lead left in this game.
Well, they do have a commanding lead, and the offense really not having to do much in terms of point production because their defense has just been so solid. Regardless, that St. John's with their running game and a good solid passing game as well tonight in this football game.
Well, it looks like Sanchez is still out there for the St. John's Redskins quarterback. Only a sophomore, really having a great night tonight. So it's going to be Sanchez now out of the shotgun. He's got two backs back with him. He's going to take on the option. He's looking around the right side, and he turns upfield, and it's off to the races inside the 40, the 30, the 25, and driven out of bounds about the 22-yard line. Great run by the quarterback Sanchez for the St. John's Redskins.
Yeah, just a great read by him at the line of scrimmage where he has that option to either pitch or keep it. Not only deciding to keep it, but makes a great cut upfield to lose the linebacker. You can see the line, I don't know if we can get a replay on that, but trips up the linebacker, and just once he's open in that seam, he just busts it off for a big gain, 41-yard run.
Sanchez with that Mountain Mobile Autoglass first down. Under center now out of the wishbone, and there's a whistle blown.
Dead ball, false start, offense, 5 yards, replay, first down.
So with that last carry, that takes Sanchez 6 carries up to 85 yards for the game. Just doing an outstanding job for the Redskins tonight.
5 yards now being assessed against the Redskins. They back up 5. It'll be now first down, 15 to go. The ball placed inside the Morenci 28-yard line. It looks like it's about the 27-yard line. Under center is Sanchez. He's got a wishbone backfield. 3 backs, tight set. He's going to hand off to the second back, and it's going to be Fielder. He bounces back around the left side, gets around the corner, and it's off to the races. Morenci's going to catch him, but not until he's gained quite a few. Gets that Mountain Mobile Autoglass first down inside to about the 4-yard line.
With that dive play action, and I think it was designed to be an off-tackle play inside the line of scrimmage, but you can see Field here, just see how clogged up it is, and he bounces. And really all the defenders for Morenci are drawn into the interior portion of the field, and just good pursuit angle ultimately by number 3, Braden McCarthy, able to track him down on the sideline, but not after a great run by Fielder to get that first down.
So it'll be first and goal now from about the 7-yard lines. That's a Mountain Mobile Autoglass first down. Staying with the wishbone, Sanchez gives off to Ramsey. Ramsey behind, big surge by that line and those 2 backs in front of him, and he's close to the end zone.
Very close to the end zone. Ramsey's really been putting in the work tonight for the Redskins. Again, he's been limited a little bit by this defense by Morenci, but so far in the game he's got 18 carries.
I think most
and he's
importantly,
at 134 yards.
That clock ticking, it's 2:11 and still running. Wishbone, Sanchez under center. Again, stays with the dive or the power and into the end zone. It's Fielder for the score. Fielder on that lead. He's got 2 backs in front of him. That big line does a nice job, gets his points as well tonight. 46-12 now our score. 2:02 left here in the 4th quarter. And we'll see if they go for 2 or stay with the point after. Looks like they're going for the PAT. It's going to be holding. It's number 9, Sanchez, the quarterback. The ball is down, the kick goes up, and it looks like it's going to be good. Low, but a line drive. Nice little job on the kick. We'll try to get the name for you. Looks like it's could be Gage Tricky, number 32. Yeah, Gage Tricky, it's confirmed. Mike Arona up here, the announcer for the St. John's Redskins, a big help. 47-12 our score, 2:02. We're going to keep it here and punt. A lot of action, a lot of scoring by the Redskins in the second half.
Yeah, they've really just taken control of the entire second half. You know, it was 20-12 at halftime, and we talked about them. You know, the keys for them is not allowing any big plays for Morenci, which they've most definitely done. Not only have they done that, they've really effectively shut down the Morenci offense completely. Morenci just not able to really generate much offense at all here in the second half. Meanwhile, St. John's being able to score on some fairly big plays, or at least relying on some big plays to put them in scoring position. So this whole half dominated by the Redskins.
St. John's again kicking deep as fielder. It's going to be Chavaria on the return. Gosh dang it, Mike. Chavaria gets the ball outside the 25 to about the 27.
We're going to have to do some remedial name. Yeah.
Well, Mike Caldwell is in my ear telling me, I think he's doing it on purpose, but anyway, we want to thank all of our sponsors: Ace Hardware and Pine Top Hebrew, Sholo, Sunrise Park Resort, Northland Pioneer College, Summit Regional Medical Center, Beeler Orthodontics, Deemer's Glass, Indian Pine Restaurant at Honda, Octopus Car Wash, Subway, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. And again, that kickoff, when it comes to kickoff, your college education, choose the college with the lowest
Timeout
tuition
St.
in
John's,
Arizona.
last time out of the game.
Punt, what do you think that college is with the lowest tuition in Arizona?
The one that teaches you to say Chavaria correctly.
Yeah, that's right. I've been struggling. Northland Pioneer College, our local community college, does a great job. And again, that's the lowest tuition in Arizona. Having kids in college, another one in high school, that's an important thing to keep track of. St. John's Redskins now 47-12, 1:56 left here in the fourth quarter. Punt, you've got your work cut out for you. I don't know who all you're using. I know we're going to be trying to talk to Coach Morgan on the sideline with Ron Everingham, but we have got to get Deemer's Glass shattering hit of the game. Need your glass for your home or business. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, hands down the best place to call. Quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass, 1-888 Glass Man. And then we've also got the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. Player of the game for the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain. Go to Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, south of Pine Top Highway 260. Running play by Morenci, coming around the near side, and Justin Boleen stuffed immediately by that right side of the St. John's defense.
Well, we can see Coach Morgan starting to rotate in some guys, especially on that defensive front. A lot of new numbers up there, looks like. And same for Morenci, doing some subs here, substitutions to get some guys with some playing time. We just a minute 24 here left in the game.
Morenci Wildcats. I formation, playing quarterback is Batchelder. Batchelder is going to hand off to the second back. A dive up the right side, but a big hit, probably in the running for the Deemer's Glass shattering hit of the game, as he met that St. John's left side left side of the St. John's defense. Immediately went backwards.
That was Philip Marchman and number 41 as well. There is no 41, but Philip Marchman, number 70, inside linebacker, middle linebacker position, doing a good job coming up and filling that gap.
So with that, now it's 3rd and 11 for the Wildcats. 35 seconds left on the clock and ticking. Slow coming to the line of scrimmage is the Morenci Wildcats. It looks like Batchelder, he's got an I formation behind him. He's going to hand off to the fullback, Harrington. Harrington met after just a short gain of maybe a yard.
Again, a good tackle. Look like Batchelder, yeah. Or I'm sorry, Marchman again, doing a good job in that linebacker position coming up to make the tackle.
Looks like that is going to be the last play of the game. 1-0. That's going to do it from St. John's. When we come back, we've got a lot of work to do, Punt. But our final score, 47-12, St. John's Redskins on top. You're listening to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com.
Need hats, shirts, or jackets embroidered with your logo? Get custom embroidered products from Little Bluebird Studios. That's right, the company that does the best job screen printing t-shirts and hoodies now offers embroidery. Little Bluebird Studios is a local company with skilled designers that care about your company's image and brand. Call Little Bluebird Studios today, 928-351-7942, or online at littlebluebird.org. Little Bluebird Studios, the company that cares.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
I got this. Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Want to save money on your next vehicle? Then go to the place with the lowest price guaranteed. Sholo Ford guarantees the lowest price on any new Ford in the state of Arizona. Plus, every new Ford gas engine vehicle comes with a lifetime engine warranty. Thought you could get a better deal in Phoenix? Think again. The absolute best deal in the state of Arizona is at Sholo Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in northern Arizona, and soon to be #1 in the state of Arizona. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center is a proud supporter of high school sports. Many of our local sports players were born at the hospital, where Summit Obstetrics offers comfortable individual rooms for mom and baby. In case of a sports injury, the hospital ER is always staffed and prepared to take on the most serious injuries, and Summit features an advanced diagnostics department with state-of-the-art equipment. The Summit Healthcare orthopedic and therapy teams can help sports players overcome injuries and return to the game. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center wishes all players a successful and healthy season this year.
Need hats, shirts, or jackets embroidered with your logo? Get custom embroidered products from Little Bluebird Studios. That's right, the company that does the best job screen printing t-shirts and hoodies now offers embroidery. Little Bluebird Studios is a local company with skilled designers that care about your company's image and brand. Call Little Bluebird Studios today, 928-351-7942, or online at littlebluebird.org. Little Bluebird Studios, the company that cares.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
2x2 Mike Caldwell.
I don't know what we've got, but they're driving me nuts. You know, Pun, a pretty impressive game. It seemed like both teams a little bit shaky to start, but once St. John's settled in, especially here in the second half, they pretty much took over.
Yeah.
It was all St. John's.
Well, you know, St. John's did a good job in the first half as well, going into the halftime with a 20-12 lead, but you felt like it was a close football game. Mike Caldwell talked about the stat advantage of St. John's in that first half, but still felt like that, you know, the football game could go either way. But in that second half, I mean, it was just all St. John's. Defensively, they completely shut down that Morenci offense. And offensively, did a great job of doing exactly what Coach Morgan said they were going to try to do. They went up the middle. They busted outside with their runs, did a good job with that. And they got some big plays off their passing game that set them up for some touchdowns. So
all facets of their game really taken off in the second half. Nice job, Coach Morgan and the St. John's Redskins. Hey, just a quick update. I want to thank Dean Cramblett. Final, Castile 70, Sholo 7. 70-7. Castile has done that all season long, I think, really running up the score a little bit. What goes around comes around, and I can tell you, Sholo Cougars play tough. You can bet payback down the road somehow, some way. It's going to happen to you. Well, Ron, we're going to shoot it down. Let's see if Ron, are you ready? We're going to run it down to Ron Everingham, shoot it down to Ron Everingham. He's got Coach Morgan with him. Also, it looks like Coach Morgan's wife want to wish her a happy birthday. I think, is it tomorrow? Oh, is it Coach Morgan's birthday? Want to wish Coach Morgan a happy birthday.
Okay. You got it? Is it to me?
You're on. Yep.
All right, here we go. Coach, great game. Hey, it's a good night when you run out of fireworks, huh?
Well, I'll say, man, I'll tell you what, that probably one of the best games I've seen St. John's play in, 3-4 years. Kids played hard, played well. I told them that about 3 weeks ago that we had to get in better shape, so that's something we've been spending a lot of time with, running a lot of lines. And they gripe and complain, but tonight they found out why we do it. And we're getting a little better each week, which is good. We struggled a little bit first half, kind of shot ourselves in the foot a few times, poor kicks, give them good field position. And they were able to punch it in. They ran a nice counter that scored on us. We went to sleep, got out of position, and they came back and made it a good game, very good game. We scored right before the half, a great catch by Kyron, and, and then we got the two. Moen, our quarterback played real good tonight, Sanchez. I don't know how many completions he had, but we ran the ball well. We passed the ball well, especially the second half. Real pleased with our offensive production, and then we played good defense second half too. So made some good tackles, had a few sacks when they tried to throw, and then we adjusted to their counter and their quick pitch, their power, their trap. So, hey, good defensive game second half, good overall game. Real proud of the kids.
Well, we're coming right off the field when the kids ran through this way. I heard come out of one of the kids' mouth, now we're on to Thatcher. The schedule doesn't get any easier for you. You're traveling to Thatcher and then Pima over the next 2 weeks. So, what are you looking forward to coming in the next couple weeks?
Real tough opponents, both of them back-to-back. We had a good opponent tonight. Morenci kind of made a few mistakes, shot themselves in the foot. We were able to capitalize on those mistakes, threw the ball good. Thatcher is a 3-yard and a cloud of death team. They're huge. They run wishbone. They run the veer. Defensively, they run the old school 4-4, 5-2, 5-3 stuff. They are aggressive. They're big, fast. They're simple, but they just do things right. Well coached. They're strong. They run option, which, you got to play assignment football to beat. And we ran what they've ran, there, what they're running right now. We ran that for 20 years here and, played in 8 state championships with it. So we know it's tough to stop and it's hard. And, it's simple stuff. They work on it every day. They get better. They got a coach that believes in it. And we know we're in for a tough contest next week down there. But, hey, if we show up and play the way we're capable and, keep the conditioning going and tackle well, we feel we got a chance.
So this week, as this week's preparations, will it be more about watching film, watching what Thatcher does, or will it be more about you guys just doing what you do?
Well, it's going to be both. We're going to continue to work on our game, which we need, a lot of work. We're getting better at it. They're starting to believe in the spread, which we're trying to do, but we're able to power the football too, which we've been working on, and that's offensively. Defensively, we've been toying with, with the 4-man front, the 5-man front, even and odd. But we're trying to disguise our blitzes better. We're trying to, cover our, our rotating coverage is better. Coming off the corner, blitzing, trying to do some stunts inside. We're going to have to get better because this is a big physical football team, and they line up. They run right at you. They don't make any bones. They say, we're going right there. Try to stop us. So that's what we got to prepare for. We played them last year, and we threw 3 picks the first half, and they capitalized on every one of them. Went in at half 28-0, and they kicked our butt. We just fell apart. And, that happens to high school kids. They get down, and I wouldn't say they necessarily give up, that they just lose all focus and they can't play anymore. So we got to go down there. The longer we can keep it close, the better shot we got a chance of winning late. That's what I'm hoping. Conditioning and our hard, running, I'm hoping it'll carry us in the fourth quarter close.
Well, Coach, you look great, and I hear it's your birthday, so happy birthday. What are we? Are we 40? 40?
Yeah, I'm 42 today.
42? All right, congratulations. All right, hey, good game. Good luck on your road trips over the next few weeks. Back up to you guys.
Well, thanks, and great job. It's always good talking to Coach Morgan, hearing from Coach Morgan. He pretty much calls it as he sees it. Doesn't, some guys are pretty nondescript. He just puts it out there, lets you know what he's thinking, and I tell you what, not only does he have Thatcher down the road, he's got a great rivalry coming up. It'll be the Round Valley Elks, and that's another team that you can bet is on the radar. Not on the radar maybe as far as getting ready for it, but that's an important game for them as well, just as important as anything they're ever going to play.
Well, in that conversation too, to me, you just hear a lot of experience of Coach Morgan. When he can do a quick analysis of how his guys did. Obviously, he's watching it from the sideline. Yeah, he remembers plays and turning points in the football game and so on and so forth. So
I think we're going to send it back down to Ron. Ron, you've got a couple of St. John's Redskins with you.
Yeah, we're down here with, thanks, Diego Hernandez, a senior, and, the star of the show tonight, Ramon Sanchez.
Only a sophomore.
Only a sophomore. You look pretty poised. What did you think about tonight's game?
It was pretty tough. We had to we had to come out here in the first quarter, bust our butts for this game. It was gonna be a tough game, so pass a lot this game to open the field, to run the ball, stuff like that.
So let's talk a little bit about the line play. What were some of the keys to the game for you guys?
Just getting off the ball. The Morenci's kids are pretty fast. So we just got off the ball, stuck with our blocks and let the running backs do their thing.
Well, things quickly turned to Thatcher. Coach just mentioned that last year's Thatcher game, a couple quick interception turnovers. That probably wasn't you last year, right? And so I'm sure, keeping the ball in turnovers for next week, what are some other keys that you think you're going to be looking forward to this week as you prepare for Thatcher?
We're going to work a lot on passing next week for read the safeties, read their plays, what they run on defense, stuff like that. So we can get ready, practice them all next week, get ready for them.
All right, you guys. Well, good luck to you guys next week, and great win tonight. Yeah, it was fun watching you guys.
Hey,
back up to you guys.
Well, thank you, Ron. Great job down there on the sidelines. You're worth every dollar, every penny that you get. Hey, it's a great night when a lineman scores. Again, a shout-out to T.J. Heap. I think on that dive, we saw the big guy. You love watching linemen. They don't get in the end zone much with the ball. Doing a great job. So what a great night of football. Punt, we've got our work cut out for us. Again, when we talk about it, we're going to go down the list, but the play of the game, we've got the Beeler Orthodontics, Live to Smile, Love Your Smile, play of the game. And Ron, Punt, you've got your work cut out for you. Who do you got?
Well, there's, especially when you have the score like you did, and, usually try to look at turning points in the game, plays that make a big difference. But it's just hard to call, especially in that second half, because St. John's just had so many facets to their offense. In particular, you heard Coach Morgan talk about how pleased he was with the way they balanced out their run game with their passing game. But I'll tell you the one play that comes to mind quickly, and even Coach Morgan mentioned it. That's not why I'm selecting it necessarily, because I had written it down because it was just impressive to me too, and I think everyone that was here watching the football game tonight, was that pass to Ulibarri, that back shoulder catch that he ended up making. It wasn't a scoring play, but it certainly set St. John's up for a score later, and just the execution on that by Ulibarri in particular, but also Sanchez getting the ball out there under pressure. Among the many plays that we saw tonight that were pretty impressive, that one to me really stands out as the play of the game.
Well, you mentioned it. I think big-time execution, you don't see it much better than that, especially at this level. A solid throw, just an incredible catch. And, again, a big play. I think it was 3rd and long.
Yep.
And St. John's manages to keep the ball and gets in well down the field. Next we've got the glass-shattering hit of the game. Deemer's Glass, need your glass for home or business. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call. Quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass. Call 188-GLASS-MAN. Punt, what is our glass-shattering hit of the game?
This is another one where we saw a lot of good hits tonight, a couple on quarterbacks, and one in particular that's worth mentioning is in that fourth quarter, Ethan Jessup on the hit here on Batchelder, which ends up fumbling the football, fortunately falling back on it, but that's just a square hit there. Great job by him. But there's one player for Morenci that was actually involved in a couple of plays that I wrote down as potential hits of the play, and that's Pacheco. Isaac Pacheco, I believe is his first name. Number 2, one was in the 3rd quarter when he hit Ramsey squarely on that draw play. Just a great hit there. But the one I'm going to pick that he was involved in was that, I think it was in the 1st quarter or maybe the 2nd quarter, but that square hit on Sanchez, Pacheco blitzing on a delayed blitz and just squared up on Sanchez. Sanchez was able to get the ball off on that pass, but still that stands out among many plays that Isaac Pacheco was involved in tonight as one of the best hits of the game.
Well, just a great call, and again, we saw a lot of great hits. Both teams really getting after it tonight, but nice job. Lastly, we've got the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. The play of the game is brought to you by Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. For the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain, go to Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store south of Pine Top on Highway 260. That's Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports. Punt, what do you got for our player of the game?
Well, early in the game, we even mentioned the great play by Joseph Ramsey for St. John's. He ends up the game tonight, 18 carries with 134 yards. I think he finished the first half at 130, something close to that. So he was really kind of limited through no fault of his own. But you got to credit that Morenci defense for whatever adjustments they made at halftime, keying in on him and limiting him big time. But certainly hats off to Ramsey with his 134 yards and 2 touchdowns rushing tonight. Also doing a good job with a few pass receptions as well. And then pardon me, we saw good production by Jessup. He had 4 sacks tonight on defense, and we mentioned that big hit of his on the quarterback. So hats off to him. There's a bunch of other guys, Heap, Diego Hernandez, Pacer Wiltbank. I mean, we mentioned their names several times. That line play in general on offense and defense for St. John's tonight was huge, and that's something Coach Morgan mentioned as well. So try to tease through all those guys and pick a player of the game is tough to do, but I think we could definitely need to tip our hat to overall through the whole game, especially in the second half, and I think he really led the momentum in many ways for that St. John's defense to take it from a 20-12 halftime score to the final score that we ended up with, 47-12, and that's Ramon Sanchez, the guy that Ron just interviewed with one of his teammates. He passing tonight 8 for 12, 216 yards for 2 touchdowns, and then also running the ball tonight, 6 carries for 85 yards. And we saw in a couple of, option read plays where, he decided to keep the ball and run and just did a great job, I think, overall. And really, despite a great performance by Ramsey, he was the leading rusher with a couple of touchdowns tonight. But I think you really got to tag Sanchez for just the outstanding game that he provided. His leadership, especially in that second half, made the big difference, I think, for the Redskins offensively.
Well, it's always good, especially when you win on the coach's birthday or when it's the weekend of the coach's birthday, whatever it is, but just a great job for Sanchez. Only a sophomore, beat out the returning quarterback. Pretty impressive, but just a great night overall for all of the St. John's Redskins. Again, we want to thank all of our sponsors, Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Heber and Sholo, Sunrise Park Resort, Northland Pioneer College, Summit Regional Medical Center, Beeler Orthodontics, Deemer's Glass, the Indian Pine Restaurant at Honda's Octopus Car Wash, Subway, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. We also want to thank a lot of our crew out there. Can't thank it enough for all the high school students that do such a great job on the cameras. We had Jacob Snyder, Leo O'Reilly, Haley Berger, Dustin Ashley, Zoe O'Reilly. In the van, we also had Leilani Pete. We also had Talisha Stone Street on replay. We had Stephanie. And we also have Ashley back in the studio. Want to thank them all. Want to thank Mike Caldwell for not only being in our ear, mispronouncing that, which I butchered, but to want to thank him for that, because I think all you hear him do is giggle and laugh. Punt Cooley, as always, can't thank you enough. That's it for tonight. This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web, iTalk1067.com. Good night, everybody.
Alrighty, you guys are done.
Thanks, Ash.
This has been an iTalk 106.7 Sports Exclusive, presented by Sholo Ford. High school football is also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Sunrise Park Resort, Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Summit Regional Medical Center, Octopus Car Wash, Native Grill and Wings, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. This is a copyrighted broadcast. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or reuse of this program without the expressed written consent of iTalk 106.7 and Country Mountain Airwaves is expressly prohibited. For more information about this game and others around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.